Welcome in, my dear one. Psychic Mia here from Spiritual Society, all about your next or current significant other. Take a breath, sit into this. We're going to get really in depth here. We're going to take a look at their energy. We're going to take a look at what's going on in their world right now. Are there any blocks to love? Is there anything you need to know about? What is this person like? We're going to take a look at you and your energy. What do we need to know about you? What's going on in your world? Are there any blocks for you in love? And we're going to get a little bit of guidance here too. So, our mission here is to help guide you to unblock your energy through spiritual practices like tarot readings so you can live your most aligned life. I want you to settle in, release anything from the day that you don't need. Let yourself focus, let yourself release. You're going to start to feel drawn to one of these 4 piles. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, or pile 4. Take a breath. Let yourself choose a pile right now. Welcome in, my card 1, all about your next or current significant other. We're going to get tons of information here for you, so I want you to relax. I want you to settle in. I want you to stop multitasking, focus up, get a pad and paper, and let's dive in. Let yourself release anything that you don't need. And let's begin. Okay, so I want to go ahead. I'm just going to shift these over. Now, the pink deck, I'm really going to focus on you. And the gold deck, I'm really going to focus on this person that's coming in. The person that you're with, the person that you're maybe building something with, this next significant person. So let's go ahead and turn this card over. So we're getting the 9 of Wands, and immediately that tells me that this person has come from a real hurt space. They've been hurt, they've been torn down, they've been, bashed over the head like this little figure here. This Wands energy gets into a real fire energy. I love this energy. It's very movement oriented, passion, purpose, career, all that good juiciness. But it's a real fire energy, and there's a lot of growth happening here. We saw these little leaves popping up with that growth energy. And this person has decided that they're going to get back up. They're going to get back in it, but they're not coming from a fully strong, strengthened space. So there might be getting into this or building up to this if you're with this person. Whatever this is, this might be a moment where you're not seeing the full display of their power, their human power of what they bring to the table. They might be a little trepidatious. They might be a little scared about stepping in. They might be a little bit weaker than normal. There's something where they've come from this, sort of this boxing match of getting hurt and getting back up into the game. Okay, let's go ahead and grab this gold deck. So we're going to continue on from here. So we're really asking about this person, what we need to know about this person. So I just want to pull anything up here that's coming up as something that you need to know. What is the pertinent, poignant information that you need to know right now? And that's all. I want to leave that on the table. Okay, so first of all, hi, 2 of Cups. This is going to be good. This has the potential to be very strong. This is the potential to be something that can get into that soulmate-ship energy, that feeling of being known and seen. This person's a good communicator. They're real. There's something very real about them, something trustworthy, something lovely, something deep, something in tune, something that sees you. And I really just had this lovely feeling when I turned this card over, and just this, take the layer off. There's something really beautiful underneath of here. And this is good. I automatically already feel like this is good. I'm going to pull 2 more cards off the top here, and then we're going to go ahead and pull from different parts of the deck and ask some more questions. So Wands energy is really popping up for this person. We have the 8 of Wands, we have the 3 of Wands. And as I was saying before, that Wands energy gets into that fire energy. So we're really getting into, I love this energy. It does have this, yummy divine masculine quality to it. It is passionate, it is purposeful, it is motivated, it is moving forward, it is no obstacles in the way kind of energy. And these two cards are very different. So first of all, there's something that is easy about this person. So if you are in something right now, this could be an evolution. And this could be an evolution with this person if they're coming into your world, if you haven't met them yet, when you meet them, this could be an evolution of things falling into place. Because they're coming from this hurt space and they're not in their full power as a human being as they normally might be, there are going to be layers to this of growing into this. And part of that is this easiness, this feeling that it's fast moving, it's a current that is strong, and that you can just lean into, that you can let it just sort of take over. This feeling that it's going to sort of sweep you off your feet and that you can just ride the wave. It's not difficult. It's not a big struggle. There will be some growth going on here. There has to be because, they are coming from this space, but ultimately, it's going to feel like something just sort of fits and you can lean in and let the current take you. And you can let it just take you over and you can just ride with it. Now, we also have the Three of Wands. So I am feeling like in their energy right now, there might be some retrospection going on where they're really not as active in cultivating the new right now. They're doing a lot of looking back at, from accomplishments to looking at what other people are doing to just sort of viewing the world through kind of an observational lens. They're just sort of taking in what's going on, what they've done, where they've been, the experiences they've been through. What do they need to learn about that? How do they move forward? Like, how do, they not get hurt again? Such things that they're just sort of looking back and they're in this observational territory, which again is a very different type of energy, I think, than what their normal energy is. So there is something that might be a little stagnant with them, that they have to get some momentum going when you meet them, or if you're with them right now, that energy might not be moving and thriving and flowing, that it might be, at a sort of standstill at the moment, and that it's going to have to pick up and it's going to have to get into action again and get into the moving and the doing and the being, and the full force moving forward. So I want to know first, right of all, if there are any real blocks going on for this person, not really for you. We're going to take a look at you in just a second, but any real blocks that are going on for this person for you guys to be able to really move forward here. And I'm feeling something over here. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. The Star. This is interesting. Now, this could be a person from the past, and I feel like that might be true, that there might be somebody from the past that that's still really shining for them, and that they're, still, perhaps even with that, now looking back at sort of making it that person even more precious than they really were, better, more vulnerable, more shiny, more giving than they really were. But I also think that there is something in here that interestingly enough, I'm not really reading this in your energy. I'm really reading this as something that perhaps they have a very hard time exposing themselves, letting themselves be seen, letting themselves be vulnerable, letting themselves be a giver, because they feel if they give too much, it could be used against them. If they give too much, if they show too much, it could make them too vulnerable. If they, get into this space of just letting themselves truly, be open, and in that sort of open capacity, that super honest capacity, that they could be open to getting hurt and to damage. And so that feels like it could be popping up as a real block for them. Okay, so I'm looking for more blocks on this person's end, and let's see what else we might have here. The Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting. So I am feeling like this is riding into your energy, and there is something so autonomous about you. You have it together. You have some aspects of your life really together. And whatever those aspects are, those could be very intimidating to this person, that you are self-sufficient, you are kind of just this anomaly of a person. You can take care of yourself, you have this sort of boss energy, you have a great mind for business, you have a great mind for being able to see the details and follow the resolutions to get the things done that you want to get done. There's something about you that's very caretaking and nurturing and giving, and there is something in this that could be a little bit of a block for them. That does not mean that you hold back on being your fullest self. But what that could mean is that you might be okay if you find yourself really showing your favorite aspects of yourself to potential people or to the person you're with, and you really only show these strengths, and you get really nervous about showing your own vulnerabilities, that it might be okay to really show some of your own more honest vulnerabilities, getting into a space where you know that you don't have it all together. You do have your own things that you don't want to show the world and you don't want to publicize, but those things might actually make that block disappear. But we'll ask more about that. But I don't want you to shy away from the fullness of who you are, the truth of who you are. That is not what we're doing. That is not what needs to happen. That's never in the plan. Okay, now continuing on. So I'm asking about potential blocks for this person, for you specifically. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. I think that they had harvested something that they didn't really want before. They'd spent a lot of time and effort and energy in harvesting something that actually it wasn't the thing. And this is part of that, you know, getting hurt and getting knocked down, and it ended up sort of being this, you know, this sort of switch, like, oh, I thought I was growing this, but actually what I was growing was something completely different, and it's not what I wanted at all. And there, that I think can really pop up as a block here, that they're just worried about the investment of investing time and energy and effort and not really knowing what they're getting. There's some part of them that's very skeptical about the process in general of falling in love, of committing to someone, of trusting what they see, of understanding that they actually do know who you are, of trusting that what you tell them. All of these things can act as a real block. I'm going to pull one more card for that because I think it does get so important. Okay. Okay. There's something back in the back of our deck. Okay, we've got, and the Ace of Pentacles. We've got a little row of pentacles lining up for us, don't we? The aces bring in new opportunities, and the pentacles can get into worldly goods. They can get into things of this earth, which even can come into like the human body. But and sometimes when we're talking about relationship things, it can come into things that you value, and other things. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles popping up here as a block, I'm seeing this as there's a potential that some kind of new shiny opportunity comes in, and this could get into like another person or, you know, something like that. But I do think this could also get into like a work opportunity or a just something that really takes their attention away from you and from you know, truly committing and diving into you. And it might feel safer for a moment to, you know, like, no, I don't want to get too invested. I'm going to actually just displace my energy and displace my attention to something else, because that's easier, it's not as dangerous, it's not as vulnerable. So this, whatever this distracting thing is, this shiny new that's coming in, that could really act as a block here as well. Okay, I want to know about this person. I want to know a little bit just about this person, their character traits, their, you know, the things that get underneath the surface that you're not going to be able to see right away, or that maybe you do get to see like little glimpses of it right away. I just want to know what's coming up for this person. What do we get to see sort of a little bit further down, a little bit deeper on the inside? And we're starting with the Six of Wands. And wow, we're really coming back to that Wands energy again. This person's got some serious fire energy. I love the Wands energy. I'm not gonna lie. I do like this. Now, what you don't see, what you might notice right away is that wounded, that wounded spirit, that wounded soldier, that, like you can feel the the animal that's been mistreated kind of feeling of, not trusting and not really feeling like they can be all in. Underneath of it all, though, there is a champion, there is a winner. This is winning energy. This is coming in on the horse, winning it. This is that same gorgeous Wands energy coming to, it's they've got it. They're confident. They can do it. They can accomplish anything. They can handle anything. They're resourceful. They've got the fire in the right places and they win the things. They're good at winning the things. There is a real winner here. There's somebody who's got a lot of really good traits that can bring them to where they want to be going and where they want to be in life, which is very helpful in a partner and very good in a partner. That's definitely so we're still asking that same question. Anything that might be hidden, but also just truths, things about them. What do we need to know deep down inside of them? The Five of Swords pops up here. Now, this is interesting. This can go two ways. So this could be something that has been done to them, that they have been mistreated and they have been hurt and they have been dealt with cruelly. But I do also think this is a little piece inside of their dark side, that they have the potential to lash out. They have the potential to be a bit cruel, to use their mind, especially our swords getting into the mental space, mind, intelligence, using their mind especially to wreak some harm, to wreak some havoc. If you guys, ended up getting into fights at some point, that might be their weapon of choice, to use their mind and their brain and to deal you some sharp blows. There is a possibility of some ruthlessness. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it would be used on you. This could be a part of their sort of dark side that really just gets used on their competition, or gets, comes out into when they're, under a lot of stress and they're, in a fight for something they want, protecting you even. But there is something that's that can be a little cruel within them, that can be a little bit like and it makes me feel like a wild animal, like a lion that you love and you've been with and you've, but you still, there's still the potential for them to be a wild animal. There's still the potential for, those claws to come out. And, we'll see, what their true nature is and if that comes out for you. But, and it might just be used, like I said, to defend and deflect and to protect. But, that can go both ways. Ah, hi. I'm feeling some real energy from this person. This person does have this champion energy. So the Chariot's popping up here, which is more of that champion energy. It is overcoming, it is moving forward. It is like full warrior mode forward, no stopping. Just this intensity, this ability. They have this accomplishment ability. They can accomplish things. They can get things done. They're not afraid of things. They have, obviously they might be a little skittish we're seeing that from them right now about getting into something new with their heart. But deep down underneath of everything, there is this warrior that when things have made it progress to a far enough space and they feel like it is worth the risk, or they feel like they can completely trust you, there's something unstoppable about this person. There's something really strong, of good character, but also just, fierce and ferocious about this person. Yep. Okay, I want to pull one more card. And what I would like to really pull a card for here is, if anything is popping up, let's just go ahead and see what the cards want to tell us. Let's see what the cards want to tell us about this person. Any insights about anything about them. that we really should know. And I always trust that the cards are going to tell us what's most important, and that somehow, even if something feels or seems insignificant, it is important. It's popping up. That means it's important. So, well, the moon is coming up, and the moon is always kind of important. So the moon gets into, um, it really gets into the hidden truths. It gets into secrets. It gets into stuff that's not in the light. So underneath of everything, there is this part of them that they do not show. And I think we get into that with that when we pulled the star, that feeling of not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to be exposed, not wanting to share. There's a part of them they really keep to themselves. There's probably some specific secrets, things that they keep from pretty much everyone. And then there's probably just a general feeling of, they don't love sharing a lot about themselves. They don't love exposing. They don't love bringing it out into the sunshine. They don't love shining it all and being vulnerable. And that's, there's a part of them that really keeps it to themselves, keeps it under wraps, which is really interesting. Now, we're going to do a lot more, so I don't feel like we have to ask too much yet about this, because I do want to know more about that. If there's something specific, let's go ahead and ask. Let's do it. Okay, so I do want to know if there's anything specific we need to know that's popping up as a secret here that's going to be really important for you. That's going to be really important for you to know. Well, the Four of Cups comes up here, and the Four of Cups is like a card that says no, pretty much. And this card makes me a little bit sad because, it's that kind of feeling, and, doesn't have to be sad, but it is this closed feeling. And, I mean, obviously we have arms crossed, closed body language, but there's, the cups come into feelings and emotions and, all of that energy of that flow and being in the water, and this is basically, like as it gets offered up, there's this no that comes up. And I feel like part of what we're learning here as, something that's important to know about a secret from them that's hiding underneath is that you might not ever get the vulnerability that you want. That might not be something that they're ever open to sharing and expressing, and that might not be something that they are just willing to be open to, that's just not where they're at. And it's possible they've had problems with this in other relationships. It's just part of their nature. But there is a part of them that is very closed and resistant to having all the feelings and all the emotions and having that depth. And it makes sense that we've got all this fire energy, we have all this wands energy, and that makes sense, That's just like, okay, we don't have to step into the feelings and emotions so much, even though they have really strong potential for that, of sharing and being open and being vulnerable and seen in that way of communicating with you and being with you. That also just they might just gravitate towards that fire movement, move forward, goal oriented, lots of that divine masculine energy. Okay, well, I don't want to focus on my feelings. I want to focus on winning. I want to focus on accomplishing. I want to focus on the goal. And there's something in them that might be very resistant to truly being open. So we're going to continue on. We'll find out the potential here too. But I want to find out more about you and what's going on in your world. What is going on in your life? What is going on in your energy? What is going on for you? So we're going to start with the pink card. And now we're just going to flip this over. We're going to turn this over and see what we got, and then we'll continue from there. So we have the Page of Swords. Our pages bringing in those youthful messengers, and our swords getting into that mind space. Pops of ideas might be coming in for you. There is something so like optimistic and hopeful and yummy about this feeling, this energy that is a really interesting juxtaposition from where they are right now. They're, like still kind of a little closed off and a little huddled and a little like hurt. And there's something about you that feels very brave right now and very ready and excited. And I want you to follow the things that excite you. When you feel excited by something, I want you to follow it, even if it feels silly, or even if it feels like something that like, oh, I should just write this off as, but let yourself really lean into the excitement of whatever it is that's coming into your world. This doesn't have to be a person, it doesn't have to be romantic, it doesn't have to be any of those things. And I'm, hearing a siren outside. I always say outside noises amplify the message. It's time to lean in, let yourself be excited, let yourself anticipate, let yourself really feel the energy of being alive. I want to continue on for you now. So I would like to start by not asking about this person with you. I would like to start just by asking about you. What do we need to know about what is going on in your energy and in your world right now? This is just, tapping into what is important and popping up in the cards for you right now. The Emperor is coming up. And I feel like there's someone that you might be having some kind of conflict with. The Emperor energy is very strong and it can be great. It doesn't have to be a conflict energy whatsoever. But it can be a bit of a controlling energy sometimes. And it can be someone who needs, and this doesn't have to be a man, this can be a woman, someone who has this need to be praised, to be seen for their accomplishments, who maybe always has to be right, has that way of sort of, sort of like, it's got to be my way. We're doing this my way. My way is the right way, and tell me that my way is the right way. There's some sort of strong energy coming through here, and I feel like this might be causing you problems right now. I'd love to know more about that in the comments if you care to enlighten. There's something popping up in your energy field, and that could be something that is coming in, or this could be something you're just handling right now. This could be a person's energy that is sneaking in. And it's possible that it could be something that's just hanging out in your energy, like a memory of someone that's still sort of dominating you, that keeps sort of maybe even dropping in as like a little negative voice in your mind that like, no, my way was the right way. I'm still going to dictate to you even though I'm not around anymore. That is possible as well. Okay, we're continuing on. Hi, my Queen of Wands. I find this very interesting. Okay, so here is what I find so interesting. First of all, this person's sort of perception of you pulling up is the Queen of Pentacles, which is, these are both great energies, but this might be what you lean into to show people more of, even though you might be more of a passionate person and like you might be more of this fire energy. And there is something very nurturing and lovely. And I would really look at yourself very, honestly, just to see if when you are courting someone, I don't who use the word courting anymore. But when you are dating someone or you're interested in someone, or you start to like sort of, do you put on a little bit of a show or a little bit of a mask of a slightly different type of energy than you are? And do you shy away from being your full self? And maybe you worry that this self is too much. This full fire self is too much. This Queen of Wands energy, it's optimistic. It's powerful. It's fire energy. It's growth energy. It's moving forward and it's moving fast. There's a lot of, like I have said about 7 times in this reading already, I love the Wands energy. Now, not only that, but this person really lives in Wands energy. So I would be very careful of trying to figure out what someone else wants, and instead just be you. Just be yourself. Don't try to figure out and change. Just be yourself. Because the odd thing about that is that the person that you think that they want might become a block for them. They don't want that person. They want you. So lean into your full fire energy. You have some good stuff going on. You have this zest for life. You have this passion, this motivation, this drive that like burns up in you, and lean into that. Sit into that. That is good. Okay, continuing. And strength is also popping up here. Now, this is so interesting because of what I have said before with the Five of Swords card, and I was saying it's like a wild animal, being with a wild animal. And you always have to remember that they are a wild animal. Now, the Strength card pops up, and the Strength card picture is a woman closing the mouth of a lion. And I do think this comes up as a very interesting sign that you have nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing that you can't handle. You are extremely capable and you're extremely strong. I don't know. It's interesting occasionally when I do a reading for someone, I don't feel that they love this card as much as I love this card until we talk about the card. I feel like there's something about the word strength that people are like, yeah, but who wants to be strong? Like it's good, but it's not the most enviable female thing to be, or something in those lines. But this is truly, it's magical. And it is magical because this is a lion. And this is not something that a normal, sane person would do. Would they close the mouth of a wild lion, a wild animal that could kill them in a moment? No. But she's peaceful. She's easy about it. It is magical. She has capabilities that are beyond what other people would ever have the capability to do, would ever want to do, or would ever try to do. It is a beautiful card. I love this card. Don't deny yourself your abilities. Don't deny yourself your strength. And this is a strength that is deeper than you know right now. And I do find the correlation between pulling this card and talking about being with a wild animal. It feels like an interesting synchronicity to me. It feels like there's some interesting potential here with this person, which we have seen. It's such a yummy card to me. I love that card. Continuing on. Okay, I do want to actually, we're lining it up, so I do want to change our question now. I do want to know a little bit more about anything that is in your energy field that could be blocking you from moving forward toward love, soulmateship, all the goodness that you want in your life. Because that's very important regardless. Whatever is happening, it is important that you are in a space that is open and available to love and that you're not blocking it. And I always find very interesting, surprising things popping up in blocks for people. Okay, so first of all, we have the Three of Pentacles popping up. Here's my immediate thought. I'm just going to say it like I see it. So as we had the Queen of Pentacles popping up, and as I said, if you're putting on a mask and maybe displaying some of these character traits, you're super responsible, you're autonomous, you can take care of yourself, you can, take care of your finances, you have that boss energy, but it's also nurturing and giving energy. This is popping up, the Three of Pentacles getting into earthly goods often, but can get into things you value. This is kind of an architectural card. It is a planning card. It is a building card. And obviously there are multiple people on this card. This is like, pulling in the experts, building something, crafting something, setting the goals for it. There is something that is not pulled together for you, I think. And I think it could get into money. It could get into money. It could get into your organizational skills of your items in your home. It could get into really anything in that plane. It could also, as I said, get into your physical body. Maybe you want to be exercising or moving your body, or you wanted to, have some sort of up level, and you don't, that's acting as a block for you right now. But something here is coming up as a block. And I think it is possibly something that you are worried other people are going to care about when you get into romance, and then you put on a little mask and a little show to say, no, I'm actually really good at this, and actually this is something that's part of my character traits and my personality. Before you resist any of that, which is very possible that could be completely wrong, you are your best intuitive guide. You know yourself. You lean into your intuition, your inner knowing. But before you shut it down, I ask you just to consider if this is a possibility. And if so, this could be acting as a block for you. So the answer to that really is that you're going to have to get a handle on it. You're going to have to actually do the thing. And hey, look who can close the mouth of a lion. You got this. You got Queen of Wands energy. You got it. You got this. I have a feeling that this is not as difficult as you think it is, that this is actually much easier than you think it is. And the inspiration, the architecture, the setting up of this will require the help of other people. I don't think this is something you do on your own. I do not think that you need to pretend like you are the best at the world in it, that you are the queen of it. I think it can be something that you're working on, and that's fine. But I think you are going to have to start making steps on this for this to disappear as a block. Okay. I'm going to leave that. We're going to continue on. All right. So we're looking for blocks for you. Anything that could be popping up as a block for love, for soulmateship, not just for this person, but for anyone. Hi, Page of Wands. Interesting. We have our second page for you. Now, remember, I'm pulling from two separate decks. We can get duplicate cards at any moment. We haven't, but we could. Now, the Page of Wands, as I said, our pages are these youthful messenger cards, and our wands getting into some of that fire energy again. So popping up as a block, I feel like maybe there is something that was said to you. Maybe there was something that you have not been able to let go of. Maybe there's something that was sent to you as an email or a letter or something that came in that really dimmed your fire and your enthusiasm. And you have this natural fire, you have this natural enthusiasm, you have this natural gift of being, of wanting forward movement and progress and passion. And there's something that has dimmed that, and it is acting as a block for you to be your fullest self, which of course absolutely hinders love. This might have been something that a past lover, a past person said, that probably somebody very important to you, just, based on how much it may be affecting you. But I want you to take a moment. There might be some cleansing that needs to go on, and you might have to handle that thing. If something was said that was really cruel or mean, or that really dimmed your sparks of who you can be, and this can get into career too, of someone who said something, someone close to you that maybe you loved, said something that made you feel like you couldn't reach your potential in this earthly plane. Whatever that is, it's time. It's time to handle it. It's time to, I would voice it out loud to yourself, talk through it to yourself, to your guides, to your angels, write a letter in your journal, do whatever you need to do to start to get your thoughts clear on it. And then it's time to prove it wrong. It is time to remember that if someone said something that was an opinion that goes against your intuition of what you know you are capable of, that you can do, that you are doing, then it is that person's not in alignment with you. And that is, you know, why they're not walking hand in hand with you if it's a past love. This could be a family member too. So, whatever it was, it is time to start handling it and dealing with it and deciding for yourself what the truth is. Because only one person gets to make up the truth of you. You. You decide. You. Okay. Okay, we're looking for any additional blocks here for you. More Pentacles energy coming up in our blocked territory, which is interesting. Also for this person, 3 Pentacle cards coming up in their blocked energy. So I'm just pointing that out. There might be some real fear for you. And this might be a real fear that gets back to whatever this issue was. Whatever it was that popped into your brain, if you felt like it resonated with you, whatever that issue was, whether it was money, whether it was being able to take care of yourself, whether it was getting your house organized, getting things cleared away, whether it was your physical body or up leveling or whatever it is, there might be some real fear for you behind this. And this is not a little fear. This is like a starvation fear. This is like, destitute out on the street kind of fear. This is something that's bigger than the planning aspect and bigger than that's just really rooted underneath of there that would have to be harvested and ousted. And really just light shining on this. And if you can shine a light on this for yourself of what does that even look like? What is the very worst case scenario? And would you love you in this situation? Whatever that situation is, the worst case scenario of whatever that thing is that you don't want to happen or that you are trying to sit into like you've got it all together. The worst case scenario of that, could you still choose yourself even there? That you would know that you're still working just as hard as you can to be your best self, that you choose you because you know who you are and you know your potential and you know your drive and that you'll come back around for yourself no matter what. There's a real fear here, and it's cold and it's desolate and it's hungry and it's needy and it's scary. That's a scary space. And you don't deserve to live in a scary space, and you don't need to live in a scary space. You don't need that. Ugh. Off it goes. Take a moment, you can put your hands over your heart just to give yourself a little love tap. You're safe. You are safe. You have you, and you have your guides, you have your angels, you have the universe, you have this cosmic energy around you, but you have you. And what a brilliant light you are. What a wonderful, encouraging thing to know that you have you on your side. And you are strong and you are brave and you are courageous and you are human and you make mistakes and you do have downfalls and you have things you're not as good at, and you can get better and work on whatever fear is underneath of there. But yes, hooray for the person you are and that you have you. Okay. This is going to be our last block for you that we're pulling here. Just whatever we might need to know about any blocks that are coming up for you. Okay, sorry, we're pulling 2. But I think these are probably going to go hand in hand. Oh, hi. 5 of Swords popping up as a block and Temperance popping up as a block. So it's very interesting that the Five of Swords pops up here. Now, the Five of Swords could be something cruel that someone has said to you previously, or somebody has done to you, popping up as a block. But it's very interesting because it feels like this could be a direct correlation to this other person as well, that this could act as a block for you for this person because there is some sort of synchronicity and some sort of alignment with this person in that way. They might have that little, they might have a little dropper full of like a bad day and say something cruel that is in line with something someone else said that's cruel. And that could be it for you. Like, I'm done with you because that thing hurt me so much before. And even you just, tapping on it is too much. It's too much pain for me, which means you have to handle the things that have scorched you, the things that have stabbed you through the heart, or they will continue. Now you have to protect yourself from the whole world. You have to protect that thorn in your side from anything that could hit it. If you've ever read The Untethered Soul, that's, I highly recommend that book. I love that book. But if you read it, you'll hear those exact words pretty much. But I think this would be a good time to read that book. I would make that recommendation because it's a very short read, and it's, got this, or listen to it. But that feeling that if you hold on to your hurts, the things that have hurt you in the past, the things that have been cruel to you, and you hold on to those wounds, nothing can touch my wounds, nothing can touch these wounds, then how do you live openly? How do you go throughout life? The only way you go throughout life is by protecting your wounds. It's all you can do. You just have to, oh no, can't do that. It's going to touch my wound. No, okay, you're going to touch my wound. So it might be time to take the thorn out altogether. But there is a potential that something, I don't feel like this is a cruelty in you. I mean, it's possible. And I think really what it comes to is maybe even more of a possibility is a cruelty to yourself, that you could potentially be very cruel to yourself. And you could have a very sharp killer claw for yourself. Remember what we said, like living with a wild animal. All the while, that wild animal can kill you at any time, but you are able to handle that. That's part of your makeup. It's part of who you are. You don't have to be afraid of the wild animal inside of you. Yes, it could kill you. Yes, it could destroy you, but you were specially made to handle it. You were specially made to be able to have that magic, to live in the balance of you. Now, temperance also pops up. It's funny that I just said the balance of you because temperance is popping up as a block. So I would assume that something is really off here, either going to an extreme. But I also do sort of feel like perhaps there's a part of you that feels that balance could even be a block, that you force yourself to have balance in such a way that it's okay to be imbalanced sometimes. It's okay. It doesn't need to be a dramatic bad thing if things are out of balance. If you're, overly invested in a person at one time, overly invested in your work at one time, you're watching a lot of TV at one time because it helps you get through something. You're, eating a lot of, good food at this time, but it's possible something could also be very out of balance, and what that would be, and if that's something that's a problem or not for you, and that can act as a block. So woof, woof, woof. Okay, leaving those there. We're gonna continue on, grabbing my pink deck again. Here we go. Ha! All right, so now what I would like to ask is I would like to ask any little messages that we need to know about you getting either yourself into a place or like actions that you can take to get yourself into Perhaps with this person, perhaps if it's not meant to be this person, if it's meant to be another person. But to get yourself to a space where it is like you are like ready and that something really good is coming in for you. So, and I really kind of want to make it action oriented. Like what can you do? And that could just be, you have to go to a new grocery store. Ace of Swords coming through. And as I said, our aces are bringing new things. Our swords are bringing that intelligence space, thought space. There's something very royal about this. There's a clarity here, a clarity and a truth here. And I think you do need to get very clear with yourself about what you want. I would love, this is an idealistic situation, and I know you probably are not going to be able to do this, but as it pops up for me, I would love for you to be able to go to some sort of stream or river or something that feels like that. It could be a garden with a stream or, pond with moving water. Anything like that that you can think of right now. This could be somebody's pool with a water fixture. But I would love for you to sit down with your notebook and have some time where you're just listening to the water and you're getting clear on what you want. I want you to listen to any intuitive downloads that come in, any guidance that comes in about your truth. What is your truth? What is your desire for yourself? Get clear on the things that you want in your life and what that life looks like. And so that you can open that up for yourself. Because there is some clarity that needs to happen and there's some understanding and truth that needs to happen for you. Continuing on with this line of questioning. Okay. Hi, we have the Lovers. Now, the interesting thing is when I turned this over, my first thought was openness, that you have to be open to this. This is knocking at your door. This is, the universe has already said yes. This is here for you. And it is not the universe that now needs to do anything. It is not the other person who needs to. This is about opening the door. And the door might not be open for you right now. And I don't mean that something is closing it. I mean your openness to it. And if you are not, and before you shut me down on this and you say, I am definitely open to it. I am, which is completely possible. Your intuition, you know best. But if it is, just for a moment, contemplate if this were possible, that you were not open to it actually, that you might feel like you are, but actually you've been closing the door and just standing behind a closed door. What is the door? What is closed? What is keeping you from opening it? Just hypothetically, if this were true, somebody that you loved before that you don't want to move on from, a hurt that was so intense that you never want to experience it again, a fear of perhaps something in you and is wrong or will be judged or laughed at, or you might be made to feel like a version of yourself that you don't want to be around because that person doesn't want you. Whatever that could possibly be, I want you to just think about it. You are precious and so obviously strong and resilient, but you are precious and you're completely worthy and completely lovable. So I would ask you, is that what you really want right now? Is it possible that there's a part of you that wants to grieve something from the past, or a part of you that wants to heal something so that you can open the door? Because I don't think this is far away. I don't think there's nothing impossible about this. This is right here. This is right in front of you. It's opening the door and stepping in and inviting it in and vice versa, So take a moment with that. Okay. We have another page, our third page for you, and it's the Page of Pentacles. And Pentacles, as we were coming into what we were talking about, what might be acting as a block for you, whether it was money, your physical surroundings, your body, anything in there. As an action step, this gets back into the messenger cards. And I want you to see what in that dilemma for you that hasn't been fully easy for you. What excites you? What feels like a new opportunity? And I do also think this is, saying that there's going to be something if you can't think of anything right now. But I think something's probably popping up for you in your intuition that you're like, this is what I need to do to overcome that block. And this is the person I need to reach out to. This is the team that I need help from. This thing I've been thinking about doing for a long time. Do it. This is the action card. We're asking for action steps. What do you do? Do the thing. Whatever popped up for you, if anything popped up for you, do the thing. Okay, last card over here. Thank you for being here with me through all of this. I love you. All right. So I do actually want to ask another question for you. So I just really want to know, I want to know like a deep seed of knowledge that you need to know for yourself, for opening yourself up to say yes. If there's something you need to handle, if there is something that you need to know about this person, whatever it is, whatever's coming through is the most important thing that you need to know right now that we don't need know to ask about. That's what I want to read for you. That's what I want to get a feeling about. Oh boy, I'm pulling a little stack of cards. We have the Hierophant, we have the Chariot reversed, and we have the Magician. We pulled the Chariot for this person. This Chariot is reversed. We have the Hierophant and the Magician. So there is something that you need to get wisdom about, and you need to seek it out. Whatever that thing is, I want you to be the student. Let yourself find a guru, a spiritual teacher, guide, take a class, take an actual, get a coach, get a whatever it might be. There is some sort of wisdom seeking that and like that's that student mind that I want you to approach something with that thing with whatever is causing you blocks, whatever's, but there's something that's popping up that you should be having a thirsty mind for, and I want you to follow that thing. And I want you to have someone that's a guru in that, somebody who and you don't have to follow everything that person says, but you do need a support system somewhere, and you do always listen to your own intuition and change the guru. If the guru is no good, poof, new guru, new person, new class, new education, new, whatever it is, but it's something that there's something to be learned, and it's as a conduit through someone else and through someone else's like wisdom and knowledge. Now, the Chariot reverse is also popping up here. So oddly, I feel like this is a call to stop for a second. And, I might normally say like, oh, there's something you're not making progress on, and, like you need to take action to make progress on it. But I am feeling this as a sign and a wisdom coming through that says, hey, it's time to pause for a second. You've been doing a lot. Maybe you've been, like out there going after the things, or, you have a lot of stuff, and it's time to sweep away some of the busy and the doing and get clear, get your clarity, get your truth. Let yourself stop for a second. You don't have to be doing, and you need to refocus maybe on what it is you actually want to be moving towards, so that you're not just lining it up and like hauling butt towards it. You are taking a moment to make sure that you're on the right path altogether, and then hauling butt towards it. So this might be a time to put on the brakes, hold up, wait for a moment. And the Magician is popping up, which is a beautiful card to come up here because our Magician is our master manifester. This is a card that says, You've got it. Whatever you want, you have the ability to manifest. Nothing is beyond your capabilities. You do need to take action. You will need to use all your tools. You will need to dig in deep and own your power, but there's nothing you can't have. It's here for you. You have an incredible ability within you. Okay, my dear one. Ooh, you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means so much to me, and I want you to own this reading and claim this reading. And it lets us know to do more like this. Let's go ahead and read a little piece of advice for you. Okay, I just shifted my little table back. So this is a little piece of guidance for you to help you move into a new space with this person that is coming in for you. And we have easy. Easy is the word for you, which makes perfect sense with our Eight of Wands, that easy energy. This shouldn't be something you have to box for. This isn't something you have to strong arm. It's not something that you have to fight. It's not something that you have to claw your way up into. This should feel easy. Let yourself be easy and be you. Be open, be true, be honest. It should feel easy, second nature, a second skin. This is just who you are. And this is just who they are. Easy, easy. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for walking through this journey with me. There's a lot to be done. You have a lot to think about. I always recommend taking notes, going back through. If you've made it through with me on this reading and you want to claim this, let's drop, let's drop any type of heart below for this Lover's card. Because I felt a lot open up there about wanting to be open, about being open to receiving, opening the door, that things have already been said yes, that things have already been dropping in. It's just the opening up here. Any type of heart below. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and so much support for this journey that you're on. You are a precious, precious human being. Until I see your wonderful self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card too. Land and arrive. You're here now. Let yourself just be here. Get clear about your energy, where you're at. Remove anything that might be interjecting itself into your energy that you don't need, that you don't want. Any headaches going on. Whew. Okay. We're finding all about your next or current significant other. This gold deck is really going to be focused on them. The pink deck is really going to be focused on you. This is a little guidance that we have for you that is coming through. And we're going to really start with them. So let's go ahead and get cracking. The first card that we have here for them is the Queen of Wands. And this immediately tells me that they are going to make you feel like your most passionate, bold, fiery self. Optimistic, in your power, feeling like you're moving forward, you're on fire, that you feel like you're in your seat of power. This person is really going to help lift you up to a place where you feel like you're your best self. They help to create this feeling of being your best self. They really support you and they thrive on you thriving. And there's something really beautiful about that. And that immediately tells me that you have full permission, which you always did. You didn't need this full permission, but you have full permission to be your most excellent self, to lean into the best of you as it is, because they are going to love that person, support that person, and lift that person up. So hallelujah for that. Let's continue on. All right, so we're finding out more information about this person. We're finding out. We're going to leave this a little bit open. So I just want the cards to direct us where we need to go, where our attention needs to go. And the cards, I really feel are pulling up pieces of information that are important here. So even if something feels like you're like, that doesn't seem super significant, I want you to really tune it in. And I want you to just hold on to it and trust that there is something important there, even if you haven't figured it out yet, even if it hasn't landed for you yet, what that is. I'm actually going to start by pulling 4 cards. So I, first of all, really want to know about just this person. I want to know what's going on with this person. What do we need to know about this person? We have the 4 of Swords, we have the 9 of Swords, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. And this is telling us a lot about what's going on in this person's world right now, where they've been and how they're going to feel showing up in your world. Now, this person, so we get into the Swords energy, which is a very mental space, an intelligence space, a thought space, a mind space. So this person probably does spend a lot of time in their head and in their thoughts, and they have a lot going on. They're smart. They've got a good understanding of what is true and what is not true. They're able to see through things. Now, part of what's going on in their world right now, though, is a little bit, coming off of something that they've needed rest and recovery from. They've needed to really just regenerate. Maybe that means they haven't been dating. Maybe if you are currently with this person, they might still be a little slow going and getting their fire energies ramped up and getting their movement. They might not feel like they're really moving yet because they're in this, they're in this very sedentary space. Now, on the other side of that too, with that rest and recovery, there is something that is plaguing them. There is something that is causing them a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry and keeping them up at night. This could get into a past romance. We're going to ask some more questions about this card particularly, because this could also get into, troubles at work or purpose feelings or whatever that kind of sort of crisis feeling might be. This is that kind of card of, like I can't fall asleep because these thoughts just keep popping up, and it's causing a lot of harm and unrest in a bad way. This figure is definitely not, it's not just like, oh well, I can't sleep. It's a little intense. So there's a little bit of intensity that has required some rest, and there's sort of this back and forth of sort of a healing cycle going on here with this person, whether they're in your life or whether they're on their way into your life. And that's just going to be all around for this reading generally. This could be a person who's in your life already. This could be a person that is on their way to you. Regardless of what that is, there can be levels here of if they're in your life, then maybe this is a starting point of where you're at right now and where things are going to be leading up to. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is also popping in here, and I'm feeling that this person is going to arrive to you in this very steady manner, in this way where you can see this sort of offer from them, that they are consistent, they are steady, there's a realness about them. There is something very real and also very steadfast. Something that you can rely upon this person. They will be there when you need them, but not just when you need them. They will show up day after day, and they will be able to see the true value of you, and they will be able to offer up true value to you. They will want to care for and protect. And there is a very protective nature that comes in here as well. There's something really beautiful about this person, and they might be kind of coming quietly. It's not maybe going to feel like a rush of like, wow, this person has got the full peacock going on. Oh my goodness. Look at all those feathers. Look at how this crazy display of affection or affluence, or, this person might be very subtle but just coming in and landing, and then all the flutter flies away. And it lets you to really see them despite all the noise that might be around them. I wanted to know more about this Nine of Swords. I want to know more about this energy that is popping up here for them. I would like to know more about that. What's going on with them? What's going on in their world that's been causing them so much worry and anxiety? So we are getting the Empress. So I do think this has to do with a past relationship. Someone who, who meant a lot, who has a lot of femininity, someone who really captured something that they were interested in this real intense growth energy and magnetism and beauty. That don't feel jealous of someone you don't know. Let that go. Don't let that pop up. But there is something that is difficult for them to let go of here, and it's still hanging on to them. It's still in their mind, and they're still replaying it. And they're still figuring out how to let that fully go, how to let it leave their world. Okay, now I would like to ask about the characteristics of this person, their personality traits. What do we need to know about their person? And this can also get into things that maybe just support that if we need to know anything that really supports that. So I want to pull a few cards here. Okay. So getting started here with these personality traits, things about their person. Oh, so interesting. All right, so we're back in the swords. This person has a lot of swords energy. I would say what is really coming up to me is, they're coming in with their Knight of Pentacles self and this, lovely, reliable, yummy, consistent energy. The swords seem to be popping up for them as sort of the trouble that comes in their life. How the trouble comes in their mind. They've got things that really run around in their mind. They haven't learned how to control their thoughts. There's a lot of this thought space that just, sort of takes off and runs with them and causes them the most problems in their life. So that might be a learning journey for them. I don't know where that's going yet, but that is part of their person. And part of that can really trap them. It can make them feel trapped. It can make them feel imprisoned. Of course, they have control over their mind. They can control their thoughts. Their thoughts do not control them. But they really don't have a handle on that yet. They do feel very consumed by their thoughts and unable to control their thoughts. Now, this person also has this, ability to be laid out by their thoughts, to be, completely feeling like, why go on? This has taken me all the way down to where it can go. And it can really, really get to them. This is their problem area. This is something that they are having a very hard time handling. But also, this person, at their core, we've got some really delicious human qualities. We've got the Two of Cups here as well. And this person has the makings for a great partner. This willingness to feel, to have emotions, to give emotions, to be able to speak in your love language, to see you clearly as you are, to want to give of themselves, to share with you, to be vulnerable with you, to participate with you, to be even and equal and shared. And there is this wonderful quality that really, really comes up here. And I would like to just sort of pop that to the front because I like that. I want to keep that fostering that energy. I want to know a little bit more about what they're doing right now. If you don't know them, if you do know them, what we need to know about what they're doing. And let's just see what pops up from the cards. I'm going to take 2 cards for this about what they're doing right now, what's going on with them right now. And I sort of mean in the world a little bit more than I do mean energetically. So we have the Page of Swords and we have the 9 of Pentacles. So the swords popping up again here, but this is a very positive card. Pages are these youthful messenger cards. So there's some part of them that's gaining inspiration right now, that's getting ideas, getting clarity, finding something new. They're like on a new adventure. And this could get into some work-related things, just life things, like discovering that how they want to be living their life as they're coming out of this like sort of anxious and possibly traumatic time of the past, and letting go of something where they do feel this like, okay, I'm going to follow this new inspiration, I'm going to try this new thing, trying out new things in their world, going to new spaces, maybe going to new like workout spaces, going to try out some different things in their work life. There's a lot of newness going on here where they just feel a little bit more adventurous, and they feel like they have to let go of the old, they have to cut through the old, but they haven't really figured out how to completely do that yet. And so they're adventuring into the new, and they feel really alive when they're doing that. That's something that really helps them move through this time. So if you haven't met them yet, you very well may, sort of pick up onto their path as that goes on. This could be somebody you've never seen before at your yoga studio, or someone that you've never noticed before at a place that you go to a lot. Now also, that can get into, if you have been in a relationship, that could be, a sort of phase that they're want to try out different types of movies and entertainment and going to new live events or things that they haven't done before. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is also popping up here, which is interesting. So, of course, Pentacle, Pentacle. And the Nine of Pentacles is sort of this receiving card of things really like coming, but also this is a very feminine card, and it is a very beautiful, blossoming, blooming card. And as we're getting into how they're participating in life, like what are their actions right now? What are they doing in the world right now? I think there's a part of them that is trying to cultivate something that, they might be refining their wardrobe, they might be rethinking their car, they might be things that do get into financial things and things of this earth. They might be working out in a new way. They might have started a new workout program, getting into the physical body things of this earth as well. Really sort of setting the tone of like beautifying their physical existence, how they are in the world and what is around them, maybe getting new furniture, trying out some new things. But I also think that they have a real open eye to the beauty that is around them. And that, of course, will be including you. But they have a real eye to the beauty that's in their immediate space, seeing the beauty in other people, seeing, noticing what's going on, and being really attracted and drawn into just the unexpected beauty that is all around. Okay, continuing on. So I would like to know about this person and their blocks. I would like to know about things that might be keeping them. Now, we know that already some potential block coming up here. Perhaps, this Nine of Swords energy could be acting as a block, but let's find with our Empress on top of that, let's find out more about that. What do we need to know about any blocks that could be popping up for this person that could get in the way, really specifically, of you and them? What do we need to know? Now, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And this is a very interesting card to come in right here. So again, we're back in the Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. And the aces bring in new things, new opportunities, and the Pentacles get into those, things of this earth. This can get into money. And I really feel that there's a possibility as a block that they might be getting sort of that dopamine hit of the new, that they just keep turning over, going to the new. This would be that idea of, just getting invested in something for a moment, but not really wanting to lay down any kind of trail, like not wanting to settle in right away. Having maybe a little bit of an aversion to getting into a relationship because they want to keep jumping to the newness of other things. Really just keep, sort of getting into that chain of events of moving forward and trying to get to the new and up-leveling the new and up-leveling the things of the world. Okay. So we're staying in that question of blocks, and we're looking into those blocks. So let's just keep going with that question. I want to leave that question on the table. Any blocks that are coming up for this person? And right away, I'm feeling drawn to. Okay. So, we have the Sun and we have the Two of Swords. Very interesting. So the Two of Swords makes perfect sense as a block. The Two of Swords is saying, to not make a decision is a choice. You're choosing something. You're choosing not to make a decision. You're choosing to let something else decide for you. So there's a possibility that they are. This could be some commitment things, feelings of not wanting to decide, not wanting to lay down a decision, lay down a stamp on something, and that could be with you. That could also be, just that feeling of kind of itchiness. They're like itching to change gears and do different things, and not really fully committing to either path, not fully committing to the relationship, not fully committing to their emotions and feelings, not fully committing to the other path as well, which could get into the some career things and life things and lifestyle things. So there's a possibility that they could have a really hard time in finding their decisions and being able to make choices and to choose what's important and follow that sort of, okay, I've got my focus. This is the focus. This is the priority. Now, the sun also pops up as a block here, which is a very interesting card to pop up as a block. And the sun is optimistic. It is extremely powerful. It is extremely, obviously, sunny, bright, yummy. There's so much good energy here. And for this to pop up as a block, I feel like there's a possibility that this person might not want to be happy. They might be in a space where, you know, as they're getting to the door of love, and it's like there's knocking going on the other side of the door, and there's a possibility that they might shut down with this offer of happiness, that there might be a part of them that doesn't want to let that in, that wants to be unhappy, that wants to be anxious and have those that live in that energy of discontent and disquiet. And that could be very difficult for you. So I do want to ask an additional question about this. I would like to ask an additional question about where this could go with you, with the two of you. Where could this go? You know what? I want to pull out a separate deck for this because I want to have all the cards available. This is my old trusty deck. I love this deck. She's nice and well worn. Not as spring of a chicken as these other gorgeous cards. I just want to know if there's anything that we need to know about the potential, whoopsie daisies, the potential for you two together. What does that look like? What does the potential and the possibility look like here? Now, we can be pulling duplicate cards. This is a completely separate deck. We have the Ten of Cups reversed. Okay, very interesting. We have the World. Very interesting. I'm pulling one more card here. Mm-hmm. And we have the Chariot reversed. Okay, so we've got two reversals and an upright card. We've got the Ten of Cups reversed. We have the World, and we have the Chariot reversed. And what this is telling me for the potential for you is that there's so much potential. There are some real blocks coming in though too. And this really is going to come down to the choices that the two of you make. There's potential for you to have it all, to feel like this is the dance you're dancing in, that the world is coming to you, everything exists for you, you can have it all. It's a whole new cycle, whole new beginning. And there is potential for it to be this happy ever after that is moving fiercely forward, fast, in a nice clip of motion. But these places are very stalled out. So these places also, they have the potential, but it does need to change in order for the potential to really manifest. Things would really have to come together, and that's going to come down to choices and human decision and paths that you would decide to take. So yes, I would say there is excellent potential here, but there are some serious blocks here as well. There are some serious blocks that come with some work and with some changing things around and greasing up the wheels and figuring those things out, working through them. So there's a lot of both there, but those blocks are real. That's some pretty big energy. Okay, now now want to dive into you, and I just want to see what is going on in your world. What do we need to know about you? So let's ask a whole bunch of questions. Hi, Knight of Swords. So like I said, we can pull duplicate cards when we're using separate decks. Nine of Swords in their deck, Nine of Swords in your deck. Now, this is one of the first 4 cards I pulled for them. It's one of the first 4 cards I pulled for you. So you, I think, are in a very similar situation to this person where you are also very tortured by something. There is something that is not letting you rest, that is giving your thoughts a lot of torment. Remember that sword space really gets into your mind space. And this is a very disquiet card. It is very anxious. It's that feeling of you can't go to sleep because you're thinking about this thing. And it doesn't mean it has to do with sleep necessarily. It's just that underlying energy that gives the angst, that gives the anxiety, that swirls the thoughts, that's just sort of simmering underneath of it all until you have time and space to think about it. And then when you do think about it, it can feel overwhelming. So I'm offering your heart up some love for that feeling of overwhelm. And also, I do hope you take comfort in the knowledge that this person, whether they end up being your soulmate, your forever person, and these blocks clear up or not, is also going through something similar. And that is beautiful, that you are connected, and we're all connected, but you are very connected in a similar space at this moment. Let's continue on. All right, so they're a beautiful pink deck. I love these cards. These cards do have a mind of their own, and occasionally will just let themselves, spray all over the place. And, they don't shuffle very easily for me and for my hands, but I love that about them. I love their disobedience. They have their own beat. They move to their own drummer. Okay, so we're just pulling cards about you. So right now, I am not asking about this person and you. I am just asking about you. I just want to know what's popping up in your energy right now. If there's anything important, remember, we're just pulling important things here that you need to know about what's going on in your world and in your heart and in your energy. Now we have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles was popping up as a block for this person. So something new is coming in for you. And those aces bringing those new things, the pentacles bringing things of this earth oftentimes, and also new things that you value. But really, this can come into money, new opportunity for money coming in, to up level your surroundings, maybe a new physical up level. You want to get a haircut or, start a workout program, which would be very interesting because that is an energy that this person is picking up as well. So I do feel those similarities. So this is very interesting to be coming in for you. And I also think it's wonderful. Yay, open your hands to that. Receive and accept the new goodness that is coming in for you. Okay, we're continuing on for what we need to know about you and your energy right now. Hi. So first of all, I'd like to point out that your energy is picking up in a lot of different, so, we had a lot of swords action here for them, for their thought space and for their troubles, for the troubled things that were going on with them. And we really sort of came into a lot of pentacles action for them. Right now, you are swords, pentacles, wands. You've got, there's a fullness to you, that you're really operating in all aspects of your life, at least these aspects of your life right now. And that's wonderful. So even while your mind might be tortured sometimes, and there might be this low-grade anxiety going on all the time, and there might be these hidden thoughts that do cause you trouble, there are new opportunities coming in that are fantastic and that are going to be really exciting and fun. But also you have this winning energy. And maybe you have this wind energy because you're having these thoughts in this headspace that you have to, channel that somewhere. And so you channel it into winning. Now, the wands can often get into career and passion and purpose. And there is something very growth oriented about it. But this is also very much a winning card, that it is You've either accomplished and have come into a space where you have accomplished something recently, or you are about to accomplish. You're in the winner's circle. You're riding things high. You're doing a good job. Pat yourself on the back because you are doing a good job. There are some things that are really lighting up for you. Lean into the fierceness and the passion that you have, that Queen of Wands energy that you have. Let it fly. It's very attractive. It's very magnetic. And it also makes sense that you would want to be with a partner and a person who pushes you further and further down that road. Okay, continuing on with where you're at. What do we need to know about what's going on with you? Hi, Nine of Pentacles. Well, isn't this fascinating? So, hi, Nine of Pentacles for them. And remember, we were talking about, I'm feeling the same energy of the two of you. It makes so much sense that you would either already be connected or you would be connecting very soon because you are walking a lot of the same paths right now. There are a lot of similar things coming down the road for you. And so you're probably, even like showing up in the same spaces. Now, this is telling me that there is, and as I was saying before, when we pulled this card for them and, where they're at right now and what's in their world, this is getting into, it is beautiful. It is decadent. It is elegant. It is luxurious. This can have to do with money. This can have to do with worldly goods and this blossoming, beautiful growth and blossoming. And I feel like you're having this moment where you really want to participate in the physical world. You want to clean up your physical space. Maybe you're buying new furniture. Maybe you're changing your physical appearance. Maybe you're starting a new workout routine. Maybe you're appreciating the beautiful things in your life more than you have before. Really taking time to notice the flowers, to get yourself flowers, to have plants, to, make sure that your physical space, what you're taking in, what is around you, what you're smelling, what you're eating, all of those things are really, getting into the senses, that your senses are really turned on and heightened and interested. And you're really participating in this part of the world for yourself. Which is happy because, especially if money opportunities are coming in, but opportunities are coming in for that very thing that you're interested in, growing and overflowing in. So it's going to feed itself, which is nice. Now, I would like to know about you in love. I'm not asking yet about blocks. I'm just asking about you and love and this person, maybe not this person, but I just want to know what's popping up in your energy field around love right now. Come what may, whatever the cards want to tell us about you and love. And that can be anything. Hi, Queen of Wands. Well, there are a lot of synchronicities popping up here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. Okay, so this person's energy is going to make you feel like your most powerful Queen of Wands self. And here you are showing a Queen of Wands in this love space as we're asking about love. This is, first of all, sit into your most powerful self. Light yourself up. This winner, I'm talking about you, this winner, you're being this winner. This is amazing for your love life. This passion, this fire, this spirit, this, this growth orientation, this part of you is really important for your love life. This is captivating. It is magnetic. It is attractive. But it is just you. And you leaning into you and playing to your strengths and living ferociously in this world, lit up and on fire and ready to go. It feels good to you and it feels good to everyone around you. And people are very attracted to that. And it is a very, love stimulating space to be in. So let it shine. Don't hold back. If you ever feel tempted to hide your light because you're afraid of intimidating, a man, or you're afraid of being too much or being, overwhelming, or, even being too good at something because, maybe they're not as good at it. Don't worry about it. Just don't you worry about it. Do you at your fullest potential. Be you at your most heightened self. Worry about that because that is actually good for your love life and for your love experience. Now, also, this also tells me that not only is that a good space for you, but also this is how you are seen in the world. That in a love aspect, in your love energy, you are seen in a very powerful way. The way that people take you in, it is in awe. It is in this kind of like that person is remarkable and that person is really doing things, and I want to be around that energy. And it's unique to you. It is not something that everyone shares, even if you kind of don't realize that. Let's continue on. We're asking about you and love. We're asking about you and love. We have the Seven of Swords. Well, swords showing up again. Now, we started with the Nine of Swords and, this sort of tortured experience. So, as we're asking about you and love, there is something sort of thieving off, stealing away with, taking off and being cavalier about it. This can be one specific person. This can also be thoughts about love. That thoughts about love are really taking over some aspect of you, and it's not actually good for you. So if you are feeling like you are just constantly thinking about love, being in love, I want you to really shift your focus into being in the reality of the emotion already. And, we're getting into that manifestation principle of feeling like you already have it. You own it. It's already yours. And if it's already yours, you don't have to think about it all the time. It doesn't have to be something that you're constantly like, where is it? Where is it? Those thoughts don't have to flutter around and flood you. It's something you can just own, just the having you have. And so you just sit into that yummy abundance and woohoo. I want you to get into the emotionality of having already. If you find yourself in your mind being captured by those thoughts. Now, I also would like, this is a little homework for you. I would love for you to do a little look at your environment or of what could be, are the things in your environment perpetuating thoughts of lack of having, or do they perpetuate the feeling that you already have and that you're thriving and abundant, you have all the love you need, and you have this, just overflow in your heart? And that really can get into songs and movies that you watch, and the way you interact with people in your world, the way you spend your time. That's what I want you to really look at, especially the consumables, the things you're consuming, the music, and the things that, music is so powerful, and it is like this subconscious mantra that's being told to us and put in our brain pathways, sort of laid in there. So it is important to make sure that you are actually making a choice of what you want to be putting into your body and your brain and your energy field. That's like, oh, these are chosen words that I would like to live in this, instead of, maybe if you find yourself replaying over and over again something that is about not having or is about desiring and is not in that feeling, then that might be time to just put that aside, like you can appreciate the instrumental version. It's a thought. You use your inner guidance. But I do want you to spend some homework time thinking about that at least. Continuing on, you in love. Okay. The Fool. I love this. Now, this feels like a piece of wisdom that is, okay, here we go. The Fool is the first card in the whole deck. This whole thing is the Fool's journey. This is wide open. This is expansive. It is ready to jump into it. It is ready for the pleasure. It is ready for the pain. If you end up falling off a cliff, if it ends up feeling naive, if it ends up feeling like the smartest thing you ever did, you're open arms. And this card feels like it's turning up as the universe saying, hey, I want you to open yourself up. Just be open. Open your heart, open your arms, open your energy. Open yourself up to new experiences, open yourself up to invitations, open yourself up to saying yes, to doing things outside of your comfort zone, to being flirtatious in a way you would not normally do, to just being playful and skipping on into life. Skip on in and see what happens. And keeping some of that maybe more dramatic feeling of like, oh, this is so important. If I fall off this cliff, I'm going to die. Some of that more dramatic thought process, just sort of push that to the side. Let yourself be a little less serious and more playful and adventurous. But really, the biggest key here is the openness, to be open. Being open is your only job right now. Being open is your only job right now. Now, this card popped out for us, so we're taking it. Hi, King of Wands. Well, my Queen of Wands. Hi, Knight of Wands. Did I say King of Wands? I don't know if I said King of Wands or Knight of Wands, but this is Knight of Wands. But I do feel like there's some King of Wands energy floating around. Otherwise, I don't think that I would have said that. So there's something coming in for you. Something that is fiery, that is fun. It matches your energy. It's in pace with you. It feels like it's moving forward. It's making progress. It is lit up and it is growth oriented and it is passionate and it is ready to burn things up with you. So this is on the way in. Even if you're with somebody right now and this person has some growing in to do, that growth is coming in. Oh dear, our little candle just went out. This is the first time I put a tea candle in this way. So I'm gonna relight that. I'll be right back. Okay, our candle is lit and we march forward. So I would like to know about blocks that are coming up for you for love. Now, I want to know about love for this person, but I also want to know about love for you generally, if any blocks are coming up that are just keeping things away. So I do want to know specifically any blocks that are coming in. I'm going with both of these. Aha. Okay. So first of all, we have the Five of Wands and we have the Four of Cups. And these both make a lot of sense. The Five of Wands can get into sort of combativeness, a little fight energy. It can also get into competitiveness. There's a possibility that could block potential partners, that maybe you do feel a little competitive. It's also possible that you might feel like you are so strong. You have such a seat of power. You have this intense, wonderful energy, and you do have this ability to win. And in that winning, you might fear that that potential people won't be able to handle you, or that they will feel competitive with you and they will feel rejected, or they won't feel like they are enough if you get to win. And if that is so, that could be actually acting as a block, a possible belief system that is within you. So I want you to just evaluate this, whether it is, picking fights and sort of wanting to be in this sort of, sort of robust, heated sort of space, or if it is getting into something where you're afraid of making somebody feel like they are not enough and that they might leave you, or that they might choose to, not be in your world if you're your fullest expansive self. So I want you to really just think about that. And remember, your intuition is always going to be the truth that's coming through, what you really feel, what you're really reading, what you really see. But I want you to take a moment to just, all right, let's just see if there's anything under there. Now, the Four of Cups comes in, and the Four of Cups, this card is a tricky card, because this card pops up sometimes, and I'm going to say something that sounds extremely obvious, and something that might make you defensive. That this card might be you saying no to love. that it might be on offer. It might be at your door. It might be knocking for you. And there might be a part of you that is saying, no, thank you. I'm okay. I'm good. Don't want it. I'm closed to that. I'm not interested in that. And as I say that, and we hear a helicopter going above, and I always say outside sounds amplify the message. I, as I say that, I can feel that resistance coming up to that idea that you are interested in it. You do want it. You do crave all of the things that you've imagined. But I would challenge you to take a moment to just think, is there a part of you that is saying no? And why? There can be a lot of reasons to this, from, feeling like you have to be loyal to a past love, that you don't want to give up the thoughts of a past love, that you don't want to give up thinking that someone else is your person, that you don't want to get hurt again, that you're afraid of opening up, or that, this, sort of feeling that maybe the energy you're in is actually a really good energy and somebody else might disturb that. Whatever it could be, I just want you to sit with that and think about it for a moment. It's a little bit more of some homework to do. I'm going to continue on here now. I want to know a little bit more about anything that could be popping up as a block for you. Going all the way. Okay. We have judgment popping up. I would like you to take a moment with your intuition. You know what judgment means. You know what making a judgment on means. What does this mean to you? And I say this is popping up as a block. Does something click with you? Or do you have a thought of what this might mean? Is it possible that you shut things down very quickly with certain people, or even with somebody, wonderful who's coming in for you, and, have some harsh judgments, and possibly some very high expectations of human performance, remembering that they are a human being, just as you are. We all are. And that we all have different personal failings. We all have different things we're not good at. And if they aren't good at the same things, if they're, they don't meet certain criteria in certain ways, is that a possibility? I'm going to leave this with you. I want you, this feels like something I could get a lot of energy batting back at me. I feel like blocks sometimes do. Blocks sometimes there's a lot of, like defensive, combative energy that comes up that's like, no, I'm ready to fight on this one. No, I don't do that. I just want you to, be open to the thought that, what if there were truth to it, if something does come up for you, what does that look like? It doesn't have to be the truth. You can decide it's not. Just entertain the idea. Entertain the idea. I'm going to choose one more card for blocks. Okay. Ooh. And strength is popping up as a block here. Wow, I got a really interesting feeling. So I want to explain this card the way that I normally explain it, because I think saying it this way is very helpful. That, this, I'm just saying exactly what's going on in the card. The woman is peacefully closing the mouth of a deadly animal. A lion. She's closing the mouth of a lion. Wow. Whoa. Now, what immediately pops up for me here as a block is that you might think that love, to have someone love you, to have you love them in return, to have it all come together, to have that soulmate relationship, you might have a belief somewhere that that has to be almost impossible, that it is something that is so difficult and hard and has the potential to kill you. But there might be a feeling there that there is something there is something to overcome for that you have to hike Mount Everest in order to have that even possibly it might feel like it is almost impossible for you to be loved, with all of the ins and outs and what have yous of who you are, the dark spaces, the light spaces. And oftentimes, I would like to say, because it feels like it's walking in right now, with that Nine of Swords energy and the angst over the past and thoughts of the past possibly coming in, I would like to say that sometimes what keeps us so loyal to a past person is sometimes that we've let ourselves be completely exposed to that person, and they were able to love us with all of our dark spaces and our light spaces. And if we feel that those things are almost impossible to love, so difficult, it would be like winning Olympic gold, that it's going to have to be this incredible feat to be loved with all of our humanness, with all of our scratches and our scars and our pain points and our failings and our good things, our strengths that can be intimidating, all of those things, that there is there can be this loyalty to looking backward, because it is so scary to think of being vulnerable, having that same kind of vulnerability with someone new, and opening yourself up to being in a position where someone could love you, seeing all of your scars, because they'd have to actually see all of that stuff. And it's so easy to hide all of that stuff. That stuff is very easy to hide early on, or even, without having that true openness and that true vulnerability. So I'm going to leave that there. I'd like to pull one more card for you. I just want to pull one more card from your guides and angels on what you need to know. I want to pull two more cards. I want to pull one more card about what you need to know just right now. What do you need to know? What is coming forward? And this bottom card is just sort of sliding out here for me. So we have the Five of Swords. Something might feel like it's been taken from you, and maybe even brutally so, that it's been grabbed from you, and even that you've been slashed with it, that you've felt this coldness, this unfairness of life or another person or a situation. And that is something that needs healing. It's something that needs your love and attention. And perhaps you need to love the person, you, that you were going through this. If you feel like you shouldn't have let something happen, or you shouldn't have let yourself be hurt by this person, you shouldn't have been in a position where this thing happened to you, it might be that, the real holder of the pain and the real holder of the swords is actually you now. And the power left them a long time ago. It's over. That's gone. And now it's with you, because it's still in your mind, and it is still, it's still wielding power and pain in your life. Okay. And now I would like to pull one more card for you. And this card I would like to pull for this person. What do you need to know about this person and you? What do we need to know about this person and you? We have the Chariot reversed. That gave me some chills. Hello, synchronicities. Chariot reversed, popping up for the potential of this relationship. Chariot reversed, popping up for what we need to know about this person and you. And this really does feel like this can go both ways. This can be fierce. This can be moving forward fast, strong, powerful, power couple. Boom. Take on anything, moving into the world, moving into a life. But things would have to change on both ends. Things need attention on both ends. And without that change, without the greasing of the wheels, without that jump start out of stagnation, it won't happen. It won't have enough momentum. It can't move forward. And there might feel like there's some real stagnation right now. If this person is in your life right now, it might even feel like there's stagnation at the beginning of this when they walk in, or maybe, in the, as you start going and you're sort of in there, and then it doesn't quite move the way that you think it will or as fast as you want it to. But there is real potential. But there's, I would say, an equal amount of inertia to overcome. That this could be tricky. It's also, change is hard. Change is hard, but you both have the potential for it. This has the potential for it. Ooh, yes. Okay, so now we're just getting one piece of lovely divine guidance for you, and this is just a word. And action is the word. And do you know what the Chariot card really makes me think? Action. It is take action. Take action, move forward, take action. And the Chariot reversed is that stagnation. It's something that might be coming around soon. It might move into action soon, but it needs that push. Think of that like car that needs a push to get the jump start, or to get the key to turn. You know what I'm talking about. You need a push, and you have to take that action. And it is time to take action now. And if you could do it this moment, anything at all, just to get you started, to get some of the momentum started. A thing in motion stays in motion. Push yourself into motion. Get the action going. Whatever you can do. One thing, 1 minute, 20 seconds, whatever it could be. Take action. Move yourself. Let yourself roll forward. And just keep putting action first, action first, action first. Especially when it comes to your heart, especially when it comes to love. Because I feel like you're winning in some areas, in some arenas, and that takes action. So you are taking action somewhere. You're doing something, but I want you to take action for your heart too. I'm just going to collect some of this energy up. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It means the world to me. It means the world to our channel and to our team. And it lets us know to keep making delicious content like this. But also, I want to know that you're claiming this. And also, if you're claiming this, let's put an action emoji below. Any action you want. A little like dancing girl, running girl, anything that is action oriented. Maybe there's a hiking girl, walking forward, anything that represents action to you. I want you to pop an action emoji down below. Drop that in the comments. I am loving on you so hard. Yes, here we go. Whew. Sending you so much love and light until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia. Land and arrive, my card 3. Release anything that you don't need, anything you might be holding on to, and let yourself just really be here. We're going to do a nice extensive reading today about everything you need to know about your incoming or your current person, the significant other that is either coming into your life or is currently in your life. We're going to take a deep dive. So get excited, let your energy flow, tune in, be present. We have pulled 3 cards already. So I've pulled a card from our gold deck for this person. I've pulled a card from the pink deck for you. I have also pulled a written 1-word intention, and this is a piece of guidance to see you through. We're not going to pull that till the end. So let's start. We're going to really start with them and their energy, and let's see where we go from there. So first of all, with your person, we're pulling the Page of Pentacles. And the pages are these wonderful youthful messenger cards. The pentacles often get into worldly goods, things of this earth that can get into money, that can get into body, that can get into physical items. There is something is sort of exciting coming in for this person. They're on a mission right now. This person is like greedy, hungry for pulling in wealth ideas, finding new ways to leverage themselves, learning new things, skills that are coming in. There's something really building about this person at the moment. And they've been very aligned and very focused in that area, which is great. It's wonderful. It's like a yummy, good, healthy, juicy energy. Okay, I'm going to pick up our gold deck over here and we're gonna get started. All right, so I'm gonna just start in their energy. So I don't actually want to really ask any questions right now. I just want to keep this open to what we need to know. We don't really know that we need to know what's coming up, what's in their energy field, what is, what's going on. Let's see what's going on. All right, so we're just leaving this all open. Oop, boop, boop. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, so we're starting with the Four of Cups and we're starting with the Eight of Swords. All right, and we're starting with the Emperor reverse. Well, my goodness. Okay, so first of all, I would say this person, this like hungry inspiration, this need to sort of devour some new learning and education and following and pursuing money. This very well could be a distraction. This very well could be a coping mechanism because things in their life right now don't seem like they are completely wonderful. They may not be in the most wonderful, fantastic space to launch themselves into a relationship at the moment. Doesn't mean that's not going to happen very soon, or that if you are with this person that they're not going to be able to turn over a new leaf and start to climb and build back into a space where they are, a really good partner. But their mental space right now, there's some stuff going on. So let's break it down. First of all, we have the Eight of Swords, swords getting into the thought space, that mental space. This is this kind of trapped feeling of being imprisoned and being imprisoned by their thoughts, feeling helpless, almost getting to some of that, victim mentality of like, I don't know how to release myself from this. I've been put in this situation. I've been put into this thought process and I have no idea how to get out of it. However, they have the absolute power to get out of it. They are responsible for their own thoughts, but they might not really be taking responsibility for their own thoughts at the moment. So there is probably something closed off from what I can see right now. There's probably something closed off about their energy. If you are in something with this person, I imagine this would be a little bit of a difficult person to be with, that there would be some real obstacles here that don't feel like it's flowing smoothly, that it's going easily, that it's, working a nice, easy path. Okay. Our next thing that we're pulling here is the Four of Cups, which again, this doesn't feel easy. This is, somebody's very closed off energy saying no to the cups bringing in feelings and emotions. And what is being offered to them from either from you, from the universe that's coming in, that gets into the heart space, there is something about them that is saying no. That is kind of just like, boom, nope, boom. No, yeah, I don't want that right now. Not interested. I don't really know why this energy is coming up, what put them in this place. We'll take a look at that, but there is something that's coming up that is sort of really rejecting the feelings and the emotions. So my guess is that if this is somebody who is coming in, they might walk past this part before you get to them. Just know that they're probably not in a space where they're having, any kind of fantastic relationships right now. They're kind of in a space where they have to work through this stuff. If you are in something with this person, this again could feel very difficult. This could feel like you are pulling for emotion, you are pulling for some heart space, and it is just not coming, and you feel like they're very closed off and very distracted, very in their own thoughts, in their own world. And that could feel very difficult. Could feel very isolating for you, and that could also just make you feel like you're doing something wrong, but you're not. This has nothing to do with you. This is an energy outside of you. So there is something going on here with that energy. Now we also have the Emperor reversed. So again, this isn't the best energy. This is a bit of a controlling energy. This person really is like trying to sit into controlling everything in their world because something felt very out of control. Something felt like, like they're still in that feeling of feeling trapped. They're still in this feeling of not being able to get a handle on things. And so, as a coping mechanism, they are really trying to take over that control, to control every aspect. And again, if you are currently in something with this person, they might be trying to control you. They might be trying to control every interaction you have. There might be something where they're being very demanding. If you're not, then just know they're, like if this is a person who's coming in, they might get past this space before you meet them. So hopefully this is just telling you where they're going to be coming out of and what they're going through right now. So there is something, perhaps even a little dictatorial, perhaps even a little needy too, needy for praise, needy for accolation, needy for the things that they're really striving and reaching for. That's like a distraction. It's like a good thing for them, but also it is a little, it's maybe not for the right reasons. So let's continue on. Let's continue on and take some more of a look at their energy. So what I'd really like to know now, based on those cards, is what happened? Why is this person in this space? Where are they coming from? What is the reason behind this? So let's take a little look about this. This is the Seven of Swords pops up, and this makes good sense. Now, I just heard a horn blare, and I always say outside sounds amplify the message. The swords, again, getting into the thought and mind space, the intelligence space. This is a card of someone sort of making off with something, someone stealing something away. It's a very cavalier sort of attitude, nonchalant, like, ha, 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 ha. I've got it now, and you can't have it anymore. So there is something that was done to them that feels like it was taken away from them. This could even get into sort of their thoughts being stolen away, but also this could get into things where they've had some great ideas that someone sort of took over as their own. And this could also, just get into someone who they had feelings about and cared about, them not, just having sort of this playful attitude about their feelings and making off with something that was precious to them and not taking them seriously. And that sort of dealt a blow of pain there. Okay, continuing. I just want to know one more thing about this pain that's coming up. So the sun is popping up here, which is a very strange card to be popping up here, is a reason to be in sort of a bad space. Now, there might have been extremely optimistic and very positive and feeling very energetic, very powerful, very in charge. And that feeling when everything came crashing down, when something was really taken away from them, stolen away from them, might just be putting them in a space where they don't feel like they can trust anything, because they did not read the signs. They did not see the clouds. They did not feel the thunderstorm on the horizon. It felt like everything was so good. It felt like things were happy and sunny and optimistic and positive and heading in the right direction. And then whoomph, pulling the rug out from under them. So there's that sort of juxtaposition of just feeling like, how can I even trust myself and my own knowledge of what's really going on when I read it so wrong before? Okay. I would like to take a little look at them moving through this. Where are they headed to? With you specifically, when we have like the first steps of you, walking up the staircase, where are they headed? What is that going to look like? What is that person going to look and feel like? So we have Temperance, which is really lovely to see. This feels good that they're getting into a new space of balance. They're getting into a new space where they've been really out of balance. They've been really, shutting down certain aspects of themselves, feeling paralyzed by other aspects of themselves, overtaken by certain aspects of themselves, leaning into, things that are distractions, and trying to just be able to take control over certain things. So there's a lot of imbalance at the moment. Now, as they come into your life, they will be in a new state of balance, a new state of, really, I don't know that this is going to be like the easiest state of balance, but they will be back on the balance beam where they are trying and they are working toward having that nice balance where everything is sort of falling back into place. They're getting everything sort of under control. So even if you're with this person, if things are going to level up with this person and move into a new space, this is where that starts. This is how you'll know. These are the things that they will be possessing and in order for that to happen. And we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace is always bringing in those new things. The Swords, again, getting into that thought, mind space, intelligence space. This is really clarity, a huge wave of clarity coming in for them, understanding, truth seeing. There is a new sense of power. And again, this is new. This is something that's new that's coming in for them. They will not have been here before. So there's sort of a lightning bolt here. If this is someone that you are with right now or right now, there will be a real change and shift in them with an understanding of, oh, this is where I've been. Oh, this is what I was doing. There will be that enlightenment, that moment of power and truth and seeing. Just okay. And I know there's oddly a lot of sound going on around me right now. So thank you for bearing with me. I will try to make sure that I remove as much from this as I can, but just in case it is popping up for you. All right, here we go. I want to keep going though, because I want to stay in the flow of this person. Okay, so we're still asking about, so they'll also be in this space where they're collecting their courage, their bravery to step into a new segment of life, a new adventure, where they are ready to, maybe metaphorically travel, maybe really actually travel, but really to just seek out new things, to be ready for this new part of their life, the new things that they haven't experienced yet, the new. They're ready for something to change. They're ready for an adventure. And there's a lot of courage and bravery that comes along with that, but they'll really be sort of putting that on like a piece of clothing, that they're ready to step into that. Okay. Now I want to see some blocks. When you get to this space, again, if you're with them and you get to this space where, hey, these new things are coming up, they're ready to step in, they found this new balance, they're in this good space. If you get to that space, if you haven't met them yet, then this is as they're coming in for you. If you get to that space, then what blocks could be there waiting for you as you make this journey into something deeper and bigger and further down the road? What kind of blocks are lying in wait for them? The Chariot coming up as a block here. Very interesting card to come up as a block here. Now, the Chariot is extremely movement oriented. It's fast moving. It's action oriented. It is powerful. And this coming up as a block, it feels like they might slip back into stagnation, slip back into a space where they are paralyzed again, slipping back into a place where they don't want to take action, or they're not willing to take the right action, or it's difficult for them to take action. So there is a potential for them to, not still be in their fullest power, their fullest force moving forward. We're going to continue on with that question. And the Two of Swords popping up as a block. And the Two of Swords is a card that comes in and tells us, hey, if you're not making a choice, that's still a choice. This is a blatant willfulness to not make a choice, blindfolding, leaving the blindfold on, not deciding, which is deciding. So it is possible that they could have to choose between, moving forward in love moving forward with something else, or staying in the past, letting all of their past drag them backwards. And they might not really be willing to fully make this decision and commit to this themselves. They might wait around for the universe to make this decision for them. And that is very tricky. You want to make your own choices about what you want in your life. Okay, now I just want to go ahead. I'm going to actually pull from a separate deck here. I would like, now remember, every time we pull from a separate deck, we have the opportunity to pull duplicate cards. So that can always happen when we have a separate deck. Now, these are my trusty old yummy cards. Look how old and weathered these guys are. Yeah. Oh, they feel so good in my hand. Okay. Now, on this deck, I would just like to ask about your relationship. If there's anything that we need to know about this, could this be soulmateship? Could this be big? Could this, what is the energy reading like right now? Remember, the energy can shift and change. You tap into your deep intuition always. Okay. And we have the Six of Wands reversed. Interesting card to pull. The Six of Wands is a winning card. It's a very fiery, growth-oriented winning card. Now, in this reverse position, it feels like there's so much potential, but it could be stuck. Doesn't mean that it will stay stuck. We get to make choices. This person gets to make a lot of choices. You get to make choices. But there is a lot of potential for it to stay stuck. Now, I would like to go ahead and pull another card for you. We have the Five of Wands also reversed. So a lot of reversals here. And we're in the Wands energy 2 times out. And the Five of Wands is kind of combative. It can be competitive. It can have that fight energy, but also this is reversed as well. So this, sort of feels to me like this could get into some more negative aspects where it's, there could be a lot of friction, a lot of coming, head to head over what you want and what they want. And then there is also, of course, the potential here for you to figure out how to communicate properly and for you to work through those fights and those things that you come head to head on. And if you're already with this person, it is possible you're already feeling this. So, of course, we're, tapping your intuition. Okay, so now we're going to be taking a look at your energy and see what's popping up for you. So let's go ahead and start with the first card we picked for you. And your first card is the Knight of Pentacles. And what's interesting here is that I'm feeling this flowing in not as someone else's energy riding in. I'm feeling this riding in is your energy, that you have this stability about you, this show upness where you show up, you're consistent, you're resourceful, you are steadfast, you are steady. And there might be something about you that goes under the radar, but at the end of the day, you are a shiny piece of gold. You are truly of a super high value, even though you don't have to put on a lot of flash and show. You don't have to show off all of the things that make you so wonderful. And I'm finding that also very interesting as a juxtaposition to this Emperor reversed energy over here. If this is, something that shows up in this other person sometimes, it's a very different vibe. It's like this feeling of maybe needing to be recognized for anything that shines about them, really needing to have that, the accolation, the applause, but you just do it. And so you might not have a ton of patience for that character trait. Let's go ahead and keep going for you. I just want to read your energy. I just want to see what's going on. I don't want to ask any questions yet. I don't need to know, I don't need to put on anything specific to this. I just want to read your energy. Okay, so let's see what's coming up for you. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. We have the King of Wands. Oof. Oof. Okay, and this is, we're also picking up the King of Swords, and we're picking up the Two of Pentacles. Okay, I find all of this very interesting. So first of all, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. And the first thing that comes to me about this, just reading your energy, is that there might be, so the aces bring in new opportunities. The cups really get into those feelings and emotions. And that's, the love space, the heart space, the overflowing with, love abundance, yummy, 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 in the heart area space. And this is reversed, and there might be something that you are passing up that you are not recognizing, or that you're choosing not to recognize, that could really fill you up in a heart way, that could give you a lot of love, and that could really tap into your emotions and your feelings that you're just sort of not interested in. You're not interested in opening up your hand to it. You're interested in, like, you're just kind of like, I don't know that this would be something that you would even consciously really know about. Maybe as I say it, something comes to the forefront, but it would be something kind of that also runs under the radar. That's, you just kind of glided over it so fast and so easily that now you're on to the next thing and you sort of forgot that it was ever there. So do tune in to what is going on around you so that you can make your choices as a choice and not just let your subconscious, take things from you or move past things too quickly. There might be something in there, some sort of block or negative belief or something that sort of just makes you skate on by. So do be aware, do be in tune with that. Let's go ahead and take a look now. We have the King of Wands, we have the King of Swords, lots of king energy. It's a lot of masculine energy here. Now, the interesting thing once again is that I am not reading this in other people. I'm not reading this as these two different men coming in, or one man with both of these traits coming in. I'm reading this as something that you are bringing to the table. So there is something really in your divine masculine energy that is sort of just, it was running here. And you might really feel that. You might feel like you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of everyone. You need to be stronger than the strongest. You have to pick up all the pieces. You need to be everything for everyone, and you need to be that masculine energy for yourself too. I would be very curious about this. Is this something you feel? Is this something that resonates with you? Is this something that you're like, no way, I'm super in my divine feminine right now, not feeling that energy at all? Now, this energy can be great too. This is wonderful energy. I mean, this is an unstoppable energy. This is something you might want to keep cultivating and, pressing and pursuing. You can tap into your divine feminine too. You can balance those out, play around. But this is really showing up for you. So this is something that's really coming to the forefront, that you're really in this very masculine, very focused, very present, very smart, very analytical, very passionate, very driven. Getting these two, I'm just going back and forth with these two. So, the swords get into a lot of that thought space, the clarity, the truth. The wands get into that fire space, that passion, that career, that unstoppableness. There's a lot of power going through you right now, and you're in a very powerful space, and you probably come off as extremely competent, extremely confident, very grounded, and perhaps you just aren't really having it with the emotions. Perhaps there's a part of you that's like, I don't really want to touch on my emotions. That's not really where I'm at. Now, Two of Pentacles popping up, and of course we started with the Pentacles for you. And the Two of Pentacles is this juggling act. As we can see, there's a lot of this up and down going on. And there's a, perhaps some priorities need to be made. Perhaps there's too much, because you can't really focus on one thing and make all the progress you want on it if you're really juggling back and forth. There are different seasons for different things. So I would really focus on what this season is for you. What do you want this season to feel like? And that doesn't mean you can't have abundance and everything. Of course, you can have all of the abundance. But I do want you to pick a main focus, a main priority, if that feels good to you. Always tap into your deep intuition. Now, continuing on for you, I would like to know about what's coming in for you romantically. I would like to read the energy that is coming in for you in your heart space. But not just your heart space. Perhaps I'm going to open it up really just romantically, because it does feel like there's a possibility it's a possibility you might not be really interested in that heart space. And like maybe you say you are, but there might be a part of you also that's kind of like pushing that off. Oh, this is safer. I know this. This is my territory. Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna come back here. Okay. Yes. Knight of Cups. Now, this is very interesting, because, once again, I do not feel like this is coming from somebody else's energy. I feel like this is also coming from you. Now, I feel like this is just saying, this is also a divine masculine card in a more feminine energy, which, it's still just as masculine and whatnot, but there is something softer here. There is something where you can tap into a space that is, still powerful. You're not giving up any of your power. You're not abdicating anything. You're not stepping back to let someone overtake you. Now, this is interesting actually. So, if this is somebody who's currently in your life, this kind of possible steamrolling energy, that kind of possible and that energy that's pulling away, not giving their emotions and all of that, there is a possibility that you would have to compensate in a very masculine way because otherwise you would be completely dominated and completely obliterated if you are in this person's world. That doesn't mean this is a bad person, doesn't mean that they're not a good partner or wouldn't be a good partner for you. They could be. We've got, our different signs coming in here, but there are things to overcome. And I do think that that would be one thing to overcome. Um, and the temperance was popping up here, and that's something that really stands out to me is that feeling a little out of balance. Like you have to create the balance. You feel like maybe you are creating the balance. Now, if this is not somebody who's in there's a possibility that other things your life circumstances, maybe you are taking care of kids, or maybe you're taking care of the other people in your world or even in your work team, or but there's possibly you just have to fill into this sort of masculine energy where you're taking care of the business, you're getting the things done, you're moving forward, which also again is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is interesting popping up because it is a that sign of, you don't have to give anything away. You don't have to release your power and your strength by being vulnerable. Meaning you can be vulnerable and still have your power and strength. You can still wield, your sword as needed. You can still wield your power as needed. But you can also bring your heart space and your feelings to that. And that doesn't take you to a different space. All right, I'm continuing. I'm asking about, romance really in your life right now and what we need to know about that energy. Oh, pretty this card always gives a little jolt with it. It's painful. This is a very painful card. The Three of Swords, just as it looks, a heart with three swords stabs through it. And, this gets into heartbreak, and this gets into, feeling really cut through. And there is something very devastating here. There's something very painful and something that has not healed yet. And this is a part of this journey in order for you to be able to move into a real love space, to be really open to love, to be really receptive, is to get to the healing space of this. So this is very much still in your energy. So if there is something that you're like, I'm over that, I'm good, that doesn't affect me anymore, I think perhaps we should take a look at that again. And I'm going to offer you up some love for your heart right now. Take a moment to breathe. You just breathe. Okay. Also coming in for romance, we have the Ten of Wands reversed. So I do feel like the wands, the tens are cards of completion, the wands bringing that passion and fire. This really is a card of bringing things home. And this is telling me that I feel like there's an angsty feeling in you that comes up that feels like it's not happening. It's never going to happen. And actually, even, as I say that, that feels more intense. That feels like it could be a real belief and not just sort of a fleeting thing that you say to yourself. So I really will really encourage you, take a moment. Any emotions coming up, any feelings coming up, take a moment and know that if this is what you want, if you want to be with a person, if you want the love you want to bring it home, you want it to all come together, you absolutely 100% can have it. There is no doubt. And the universe wants your desires to come to be. Any higher powers that you believe in, that you give credence to, they're working in your favor for your desires. They're there for a reason. It's not, you know, just some crazy longing. It's inside of you and it was planted there, and that's a gift and it's there for a reason. So that could really come up as a block for you if that belief is really sinking in and settling in. And you might have to do a little bit of hard work to pull the lid off of that belief and let yourself breathe freely around love again. I kind of want to do something different for you. I feel like we've gotten a lot about blocks coming up for you. We've got a lot about your energy that's coming in. I just want to pull a few cards, and I want to pull a few cards from two decks. I'm going to pull a few cards from this deck, and I want to pull a few cards from my old trusty deck. And I just want to see what we need to know. And I don't really want to ask questions on this. I don't necessarily want to ask questions about this person. I just want to leave it open to messages coming in because I feel like there's something really important here. So I'm leaving this open to both decks. We have the Two of Cups reversed and we have Judgment reversed. And we have two reversed cards. And we have the Seven of Pentacles and we have the Four of Swords upright. So what immediately comes up to me is that there's, first of all, take the judgment away. Whatever your preconceived notions, if you so choose to investigate this line of thought, if you so choose, take all judgments you have away of what your future person will be like, what they will look like, what they won't like about you, what they could never love about you, what they will or will not think, how they will act. What I want you to take a moment to release all of it. Let it all go. And as an exercise, I just want you to replace any of those thoughts, all those layers of things that have probably just been, speckled in over the years. And I want you to come back to a space where you're just feeding yourself the emotion of what you want. Feeling loving, feeling loved, feeling like you've never loved someone so much in your life, that you've never been so much loved, you've never been so loved in your life. Feeling the warmth and the safety, the care, the limitless love, that regardless of whatever happens, here's this, and this energy feels like it goes on forever. Now, we have the Two of Cups reversed. So I would really like you to focus on your communication skills in the effort to be more of yourself, to be just who you are. No big show on top of that. There doesn't have to be any kind of fuzz anywhere. No sandwich of fuzz. You don't have to dim yourself down. You don't have to lift yourself up. You get to just be face to face with whoever you're communicating with. And I want this to be just in your life. because you have to practice these skills. I want you to practice the skill of just being completely open and honest about who you are, what you bring to the table. You're good at some things, you're bad at some things, you're excellent in some areas, you have some things to work on in others, and you're just a human, and it's beautiful. And you don't do everything right, but you also don't do everything wrong. And coming back to that space, I want you to really practice communicating in that way with whoever comes into your world. This is not just prospective people, or if you're with someone, it's not just with that person. I want you to do this with the person at the grocery store and the person in your, yoga class, and the person who is, running the car wash, whatever it is. I want you to just practice being truly who you are, where you are. Okay. Hmm. Now, there's also a call perhaps to take a break, to take a little rest, to take a little recovery. And I would highly encourage you to do this. If you can make the time, I would suggest taking a few days to rest and recover and regenerate, to step away from everything. I feel like there can be moments, and don't go into it with the expectation of big downloads or big insights. It's just clearing a space, clearing away the table, and letting yourself arrive at the table without expectation. But I do believe there will be something there for you. I also think it's just needed for your heart. You have some healing to do. There's some there is some deep healing that, comes in when we get to that 3 of Swords that needs to happen. Okay, and the other thing that's coming up is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, we've been playing a little in this pentacle space with you. And the thing I want you to really think about here is that what you have been harvesting, and harvesting is the wrong word, what you have been sowing, what you have been planting in the ground to grow, it is growing. Even if it doesn't feel like it is, even if it feels like it's slow, even if it feels like it's not coming about, the growth is happening. The other thing I want you to think about is I want you to make sure that what you continue to plant, all the seeds you are putting in the soil, that what you put the effort into planting, you actually want that thing to grow. That you are not accidentally planting pumpkin seeds when you want zucchini. I want you to make sure that you're planting what you really actually want to grow. So I'm gonna leave that there. That comes in with your actions, that comes in with your beliefs, your words, the way you act around subjects, the way that you treat the world around you. That comes in with all of that. Also, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe now. You know that it means the world to me and my team and everybody here. It also lets us know to do more amazing content like this. So now let's go ahead and tap back to one of our first polls. So this little guy gets into some divine guidance coming in one word for you to help leverage you into love, to help you with healing and whatever needs to happen. Focus. Focus is the word. Focus. Yes. And we were talking about that with our 2 of Pentacles. I was trying to remember where we were talking about that. We were talking about that with our 2 of Pentacles. But it is time to focus in one direction. Let yourself take all of the extraneous things out of your peripheral vision and let your eyeballs just focus forward. Know your path ahead. Know where you want to go. I think this rest time will help you truly make sure that you are planting the seeds you want to be planting. Truly make sure that you are focusing on the right path, that you feel like, okay, I know this is it. This feels like the truth. This is real. And now we go. And we are off. And I mean that with your heart. I mean that with love. I mean with that with any goals and accomplishments you want to have in your life. Okay, my dear one, I want you to take a little breath and let this all settle in and simmer down and let your shoulders relax. And let's give an emoji for focus. So I'm gonna say, I want to say a telescope or a microscope, even, or a magnifying glass. Anything that makes you think, or glasses, anything that makes you think about, okay, this is bringing everything into focus for me. This is the one thing that I'm looking at now. This is where all my attention goes. Drop that emoji below. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to hear how this hits you. If things feel totally wrong or totally right, whatever's coming up for you. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light and care until I see your precious self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in. Land and arrive. Let yourself just be here. Let yourself release anything that you're holding on to that's not serving you right now. And let yourself just be here in this moment. We're taking a look at everything you need to know about your next or current significant other. We're going to dive in really deep here, so I want you to get really comfortable and maybe keep a pen and paper handy. Let's go ahead and get started. So release and relax, let the shoulders drop down, open up your energy. We're going to use this gold deck for them, and we're going to be using this pink deck for you. We also have a little one word guidance here that we're going to turn over at the end. Let's get started with them. So we're in our gold deck and we have this strength card. And I love this card. If you've done a reading with me before, you've probably heard me just explain this very simply in exactly what you're seeing. This woman is calmly and peacefully closing the mouth of a lion. And I love this. And I always feel like people, as they see it the first moment, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, strength. Very, perhaps even dismissive. But it is a gorgeous, exceptional card. It is a lion, a killer beast, an animal that in in a moment is absolutely wild. And this is so calm, so gentle, so peaceful. No, hesitation. This is just knowledge and confidence that she can do it. And it is exceptional and magical because no, this isn't something that just anyone can do. So, what comes up for me here immediately when I'm looking at this future or current person of yours is that there is something extremely unique about the dynamic of your relationship. So, as you get into it, there is something where you two are very specific for each other and very uniquely geared toward one another. That not everyone would be able to handle them. Most people would not. Maybe they've never had anybody handle them before. And you are uniquely suited to this person, which also is a really, beautiful space to be in, a unique pairing. I want to continue on with our gold deck. So let's continue here. Let's find out more about this person. Let's find out what else we need to know about this person, about this relationship. I want to go ahead and start by just pulling a few different cards here, and I'm leaving the questions open. I'm really not asking anything too specific here. I want the cards to just take us where they want to take us. Okay, let's start there. We'll start with these three. We have the Five of Cups, we have the Five of Wands, 2 5s in a row, and we have the Judgment card. So what strikes me immediately, of course, we do have our 2 5s coming up here, and there is something interesting about that. But we also have, possibly an unsettled position for this person. So this person could very much be in a place right now where they have been really looking and regretting what they've lost. And the cups get into emotions and feelings. And this very much is a card of looking and seeing what you've lost and not seeing what you have and not seeing where that can lead you and where that can go. And this person might be in a space right now where they can't really see You know, they can't really see what is actually in their world right now. So it is possible that this person is in your life right now. They might not really be taking you in. They might not really be fully grasping the fullness of who you are. They might really be, their vision might really be turned towards what they've recently lost, what is not with them anymore. The Five of Wands is also popping up here, and I feel like this person could be in a place of confrontation, friction, some competition. This could very much get into a work environment, perhaps in a very competitive job, or even just with very competitive people in a job that may not otherwise be so competitive, but getting these feelings of sort of like, oh, I've got to be in this fight, I've got to be in this fray, I've got to be who, you know, like sort of having this fire agitating and keeping this kind of, you know, fight, where we get into like fight or flight kind of feeling, like this anxiety and this sort of fight energy popping up, where they also have a lot of attention on this. Our wands getting into that fire energy. There's a lot of growth energy with the wands, a lot of passion, purpose. This can get into career stuff, but I'm feeling that energy here, that a lot of their attention is taken up. There's a lot of attention being taken up. So I do feel like if they are in your world, then that is something you might not be feeling off them. You might not be feeling the full heat of their gaze, because they're so absorbed in other things in their world. Now, if they're not in your life yet, this is very much a good reason why they're not in your life yet. They haven't been able to really refocus themselves. The Judgment card is also popping up here. So there's time for them to make a big decision. And I do think this gets into something that would affect you. And this gets into, you know, some big decision-making things. This could be deciding about career paths, deciding to move on from past heartache, deciding to move forward, deciding on, you know, asking you to move forward, to, you know, if they've had their eye on you, if they're starting to get, you know, interested and trying to make a decision about where to go from here. There is some big decision that is coming up for them, and this has some big repercussions moving forward as well. Let's continue asking questions. So now I do want to ask some specific questions. So I do want to ask, I really want to specifically get into what blocks are coming up for them in love that could affect you, that can reverberate with you. What blocks are coming up for this person? We have the King of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Three of Wands. So we're getting some nice specific answers here. Starting off with our King of Cups, this person has a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion. And I love the King of Cups. I love the fabric of who this person is. I think that they have this gorgeous, incredible potential to be an incredible partner. This is someone who sees deeply, sees emotions deeply, has a big heart, can love in a very deep, very strong way, has the capacity to really have this heart expansiveness and this, you know, just a lot of heart space, and feel the intuition, read the vibes, read your vibes, read what you're not saying, all of those things coming up. Now, this also is coming up as a block for him, that he has these feelings and he has these emotions. They've gotten entrapped before. They've gone deep, and it is hard to get them back. You know, we link this back to our Five of Cups. It is hard to recover, get back in the game, act like nothing happened, move forward, take the loss and move on. It's tricky when you have a great depth of feeling. It gets very tricky to just move on to the next, start, get back in, and they're in that kind of space right now. The next card that is popping up for us is that Nine of Swords. The Swords getting into thought space, mental space, intelligence space. This is that card of I can't sleep. I feel like I keep thinking about this thing and these things, and I've got this anxiety, I've got this worry. This is these are those thoughts, those reoccurring thought patterns that are distressing. And there is something that's, not whole and well in their life right now. And they have a lot of thought patterns around it. And it's not opening up the space for them to move forward in love and in heart space. So there is something that they're definitely going to have to be able to move on from, walk away from, control their thoughts about before they can really truly move forward. Now we also have the Seven of Swords popping up here again with our swords. And the Seven of Swords is this very cavalier kind of thievery, of taking, of nonchalant, not even really caring that they're stealing something away from. And, this person's kind of been dealt a bad hand with someone before. And it's very hard to recover their thoughts from this person. This person's just kind of made off with it. They, were sort of callous and cavalier and took what they wanted and didn't really care how it was going to hurt and affect this person. And it's still running away with their thoughts now. And it has not come back to them. They have not been able to recover themselves. All of these things popping up as blocks. And then also sort of really tapping back to this Five of Cups in a different way. We have the Three of Wands here. The Wands getting back into that passion, purpose, all that fire energy. But this is a, looking out over. And I feel like this person could be sort of trapped in looking at the past, looking out over what is going on in other people's lives. This can also get into looking out over an ex's life, sort of tapping back into their social media, coming back to sort of obsessively look at what's going on from a distance. And it's not healthy. It's not great for this person. It is coming up as block, so it wouldn't be healthy. That's coming up as a block. So this sort of, continuing to, look over, to survey and see what's going on. Okay, let's continue on. I want to know about this person as they relate to you. I want to know how they're going to feel about you, how they're going to connect with you. What is this evolution look like? What kind of evolution are we pulling up here? So I just want to pull a few cards with that in mind. What do we need to know about them with you? What do we need to know about them with you? What do we need to know about them with you? Okay. We start with the Emperor. Ooh, okay. We have the Three of Swords, we have the Two of Swords, and we have the Justice card. This is all very interesting. So first of all, we start with the Emperor. And really, this gives me good vibes. The Emperor doesn't always. Occasionally, there can be some, aspects of the Emperor that can be very intense. But I do feel like, in a lot of ways, as you two are concerned, this person who has a lot of feelings and emotions also feels extremely powerful with you. And you put them in this sort of extremely, this person who does have these aspects of, I don't want to say more feminine energy, but, they're still in their divine masculine energy, but they do have those feelings and emotions in the cup space. This puts them in a very masculine space, a very divine masculine space. And they really feel that with you. They feel very powerful, very much in their seat of power, very capable, very confident. They can accomplish anything. Occasionally, this might get into things where they might be a little needy from you. They might need you to really recognize what they're good at, and to praise them, to see their accomplishments, to see what they're doing well. They might really sort of require that from you. And they might also want to really control the narrative and how things are going with you and really be in that seat of power. But also they do feel in a seat of power. And I did feel good when I saw this card. Now, the Three of Swords is also popping up. The Three of Swords is kind of a heartbreak card. This can also, introduce a third party. What I'm really feeling off of this with you is that as you enter into this thing, you might feel like there is someone else in the picture because they're still battling their past. They still have this shadow of someone else who stole things away from them, who is really still in their thoughts, what they've lost to that person. There is still very much some of that still there in their energy. So you might really feel that, especially in the beginning. And hopefully this goes away with time and is, part of the healing process. But that is something that's might not be comfortable for you and for them as things get started here. And, we're all human beings. Now, the Two of Swords is also popping up, which makes so much sense to me because the Two of Swords is a card that says, hey, not making a decision is making a decision. They have to decide between you and this other person, the past or the present and future. Do you want to stay in the past? Do you want to keep ruminating over this old thing? Do you want to keep going back to those feelings? Do you want to live in that, or do you want to be in the present? Do you want to move into the future? Do you want to be in the here and now? And there might be a period of time where they really choose not to make that decision at all. And they really just kind of let their mind control them and go back and forth and back and forth. And, but, at some point, something will take over where either you decide that is not okay with you, a decision will be made for them if they don't make the decision themselves. Now, the Justice card is also popping up here, and this is very interesting. This doesn't feel particularly healthy, but this is an interesting aspect, and I'm curious at how this will affect your relationship with this person. But it does feel like there's a part of them that is in that sort of vengeance, vindictive kind of like, this was done to me, this was done wrong to me, and I want justice for this. And I want, I want to show that I am better. And it's that kind of feeling where you are, sort of grappling with this person's insecurities from being hurt in the past, that now they have to prove themselves. But in part, some of those things I think would actually be good. Some of those things of proving themselves are actually very motivated, very assertive, very driven, and that actually do feel like good qualities and good traits, even if it's maybe for the wrong reason to prove something to someone else in the past. But there is something interesting about that is actually probably some of the things you find the most attractive about them are even coming from that space. So it can get a little hard to argue with all of that. This is the heat of, the fire, putting the iron in the fire. It's building them into a new creation as well. So it's not all bad. Let's go ahead and move on to you. I want to see what's going on in your world. I want to see what's going on in your energy. So this is sort of clean slate here. We're not asking a question on this. We're just getting started with you. So the Ace of Wands is popping up for you as our first card. Now the Aces are always bringing those new opportunities. The Wands bringing in that fire energy, that growth energy. And that is career, passion, purpose, all that good stuff. I always say, and you've probably heard me say this before, this really always makes me think of the Olympic torch. Passing the Olympic torch. It's that it is so exciting. It is so there's something so wonderful coming in, and it feels like such an honor to get to be ready for it and ready to run with it and move forward. And it's going to turn eyes on you. It's going to move you to a space that could really take you somewhere very far and wonderful, very exciting. There's something really beautiful coming in. There's something that I want you to keep your hands open for, which means you want to keep your energy in a very open space. Open your hands now. Open your heart now. Open your face up towards the sky now. Let that energy open and remind yourself, I am open and I am looking, I am seeing where the opportunities are coming in, because something wonderful is coming in for you. And that might not have anything to do with love. That could have a career, just a really wonderful, this can get into financial opportunities, but something really lights you up. And this can get into love. All right, continuing on. I want to see what else is in your energy. Now, once again, I don't really want to ask any very specific questions right away. I just want to leave this open for the cards. These cards are my slippery, lovely little deck that have their own a mind of their own. So if they just go shooting off into different directions, we're going to let them do what they need to do. So we are going to pull a few cards for you. I'm just leaving this open and not asking anything specific as we get started. All right. Hi. Oh, I love this. I love the synchronicities. So we have a completely separate deck, which means we can get duplicate cards. And of course, we just did. We got the Strength card, which was our very first card for this person. And this feels to me like this person is close. This energy is close. This might be somebody you're already with. This might be somebody who's already in your world. And this might be somebody who's just on their way, but they're on their way in the near future. It doesn't feel far away. And it also very much tells me that you are uniquely suited, not just to this person. Like this person might not be able, like a lion can't be with just anybody, right? Not anybody can just handle a lion. But the person that can handle a lion can handle just about anything. So while you might be uniquely suited to handling this person, you also, that does not diminish your capabilities in any way for being with anyone else as well. So you get to really decide how you want to use that power. You do just have a magical personality. You have a magical person to you, that you are very empathetic, you're understanding, you can be calm under pressure. You have this ability to really see inside of your partner when you're with someone and to really be this support system. So I love pulling those duplicate cards. It always makes me really happy. We have the Six of Swords popping up here, and then we also have the Seven of Wands. Now, the swords, again, getting into that headspace, there is something that you have been moving away from. Now, this is interesting, too. This is popping up in your energy, and it does... So you are moving away from something, and you've been moving on from something. You're trying to stop thinking about something so much. You're trying to sort of regenerate and restart your life in some ways. But also, this does feel like you are also getting on board with someone else who is moving on as well. And so what might really appeal to you about this person, even though a lot of their blocks come from moving on from something, and a lot of their blocks come from this space of having to let go and move on, that also is something I feel that actually appeals to you, that you like want to do this together. It's kind of a journey that you get to do together. And they're not just moving on from somebody, so are you. You're also moving on from something. And this could be a romance, but this could also get into other things, something that was really a new phase of life, something that's really important to you, just really like a big change. Now we also have the Seven of Wands here as well. And the Seven of Wands, I like this card. Now, this is interesting because it has two feelings off of it. The first feeling is that be careful of trying so hard to, to power your way, to keep control, to stay in stasis, to stay where you are, that you are spending a lot of effort and energy just to maintain. And I do want you to be careful of that, that's not necessarily how you want to be looking, that there are bigger things coming in and there are bigger mountains to climb, and staying where you are isn't something that you should be spending so much effort on. Spending that same amount of effort to move forward and to climb up and to go, that's where we want to be. Now, the other thing, though, that I do love about this card that comes through is just you have this grit. You do have this spirit. You do have this fiery spirit. You're strong. You're ready. You got some warrior energy in you. And it shows up here of this, hey, I've got this, and you do have this, divine feminine energy too. But also this is some warrior energy. This is some, I can hold this. I've got this space. I know, I'll be vigilant. I'll be here making sure that what needs to get done gets done. But also, we are going to reevaluate, perhaps if you feel called to do so, how much energy and effort you are spending to possibly stay in the same sort of space. I want to continue on now. Now, I want to ask about I'm going to go ahead and keep this an even playing field for a second. And I want to ask about your blocks in love. And I want to ask about your blocks in love, not just with this person, but with love in general. I want to keep it open, just so you know that this is like a deep threaded issue that you're going to have to deal with no matter what, regardless of who you are calling in. Oh, interesting. We have the Six of Wands, and we just have the Six of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. A lot of Wands energy popping up for us, huh? We have the Hierophant popping up. And we have the Queen of Swords popping up. Now, we are asking about blocks, so let's get to it. So with our Six of Wands, Nine of Wands, our Hierophant, and the Queen of Swords, the Six of Wands is kind of this victory card. This is a wonderful card. It's like, hey, I'm winning stuff. Stuff's coming in for me. Like, yay, I'm a winner. You are winning things. There is something that's really strong for you. And this is coming up as a block for you in love. So there is a possibility, and I in no way want you to dim yourself down in any capacity in your life. That is not what is happening here. But I do want you to just tune your brain to think, is it possible that I am winning so hard in this area because I don't want to focus on my heart? Because I want to distract myself from really even doing any work to move forward in the love aspect, in my heart area. There could be something else going on here too. Dip into your intuition on this, but I do feel like there is something going on with the winning aspect of you're winning certain elements of your life right now. There are certain things you're doing really well, and something in there is coming through as a block for love. And it's not that somebody's going to be threatened by it or that anything like that, but it could be a belief that somebody could be threatened by it, perhaps, if that was something that you believed. But I think it's probably you just perhaps haven't even really tapped that, like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Oh, I'm winning so hard here because I need to feel something. And I'm not feeling anything over here, and I'm maybe afraid to feel something or to go back into something. I still have all this moving on to do. So I'm just going to refocus back in here. Just putting that out there. Now we have the Nine of Wands, and this is a pretty obvious message. So we're back in that fire energy, and I always say this is kind of like the Rocky Balboa card. It's like, I got knocked down. I was in this boxing ring, and I got knocked out, and I was on the ground, down for the count, and then I decided to get back up in the fight. And this is that feeling of like, hey, I'm not well. I'm not fully together. I am injured. I am recovering. This is a recuperative thing. But I have decided that I do want to be up in this. I'm not giving up. This is the not giving up. But it isn't fully strong. This isn't full strength. This isn't completion. This isn't completely there. So there is a part of you that's so tenacious. And I love this part of you. I love this energy from you. I really love it. But you're not fully recovered yet, and that's okay. That is perfectly all right. But it is part of the healing process that has to happen to get you back to a space for it not to be a block. So this is something that can pop up that's like, hey, I'm not fully completely like both feet in the water. Let's go. I want my soulmate. I want my person. Let's do this. Full steam ahead forward. Now, the Hierophant is also popping up here, and the Hierophant can get into social norms. This can get into religion. This can get into a wise person, higher education. This could get into something that was like, oh, you decided you wanted to expand your learning in some area or go back to school for something, or, something like that. That could get into that sort of thing. I feel like this is tipping towards some sort of social norm, but the kind of thing where there is something that you feel you might be doing that is outside of the lines of what everyone else is doing. Perhaps some sort of mental block or belief that is not okay or not good enough, or whatever it may be, but there is something to be looked at here. And I want you to just sit with those words, perhaps play that back and think, what is that thing? And something will probably come up for you right away. And you'll be like, yeah, I know exactly what that is. I know what that belief is. And it can also be something that is actually much bigger than you give it credit for, that you have. It's not just a little belief. It's like a big, fat, getting in the way block of a belief. And this will get into things with age as well. If you feel like you are too old to do certain things, if you feel like that makes you unworthy, or that you have, perhaps like a certain part of your history that you've come out of something that you're not proud of, or that you don't want to talk about with new people who could be future partners, all of that stuff can get in there too. And those are things that will take a little bit of time and healing. But the biggest part is really when we get into those beliefs and sort of the domino effect of those, is to find that in yourself, to find the love for that in yourself, to choose you over anybody else because of those things, even not even just despite those things, but because of them. You have become who you are. And might I remind you, you are a remarkable human being. You are remarkable. All of this energy is remarkable, but also you can do magical things. I mean, you are very powerful and unique. So, okay, continuing. We have the Queen of Swords popping up here as a block as well, which to me says, hey, you just don't have enough clarity yet. You're not seeing the full truth. You have an unbelievable brain. You have an incredible seat of power. You know things. You are just so sharp. You're so on it. You observe things in an incredible way. You can see the truth in things that other people cannot. You can cut away the fact from fiction. You've got this. But you are not fully in your seat of power. There is a block here that isn't opening up for you because you got to decide to sit into it, essentially, or see something that is uncomfortable that you don't want to see. Recognize the truth that is extremely uncomfortable that you don't want to recognize. There is something in there that is just, sabotaging a little bit. So in order to truly fully see that, pull the lid off of it and own it so that it can disappear with its power as a block. Okie dokie, let's continue on. So I would like to ask, oh my goodness, I would like to first ask, I want to ask two cards. I want to pull two cards about any action you need to take right now, action-oriented, guidance that we're receiving for action you need to take to overcome the blocks, but also, to walk into this thing with this person, if this is the right person. And we'll pull some cards for that too. But let's pull two cards just for you for action that you need to take. The Hermit coming up and the King of Swords coming up. I love this. I love this because, when you think of action that you need to take, you generally, it's like, oh, the Chariot. You need to like move. No, you need to pull back. Pull back, bring it on back. You need some alone time. You need some insights. You need to see what's really going on in your world. Now, this also for me feels like you need to cut out some distractions. If you have been overly distracting yourself, and goodness knows that is a human thing to do. We all do it. You can distract yourself with social media, with TV, with food, with drinking, with just anything, just filling yourself up with lots of chaos and noise so that you don't have to handle what the truth might be. It is time to step away from all of the distractions. You don't have to do a silent retreat, but you could. But, even if it were just for a tiny bit of time every day, even if it were just for like 5 minutes right now, where you just let yourself sort of sit and stare out a window for a second and let whatever comes up come up, or just, pace your floor and let yourself talk out loud. But I want you to give yourself the time to look around in your world, in your energy, in your space. Now, the King of Swords is also popping up, and to me, this feels like, hey, my wonderful, you are looking for that truth, and you are looking for that, sitting into that power. There is someone in your world who owns an incredible amount of insight and truth, and has a deep insights, and I'm sure you know exactly who this person is. Masculine energy. This could be a family member. This could be a parent. This could be a teacher. This could be a coworker. This could be a child of yours. This could be anything. But that person, that insightful, incisive, truth-seeing person, has some wisdom for you, and I think that you should reach out to that person. And you can just have a normal conversation. You don't have to ask any questions. Just see if anything comes up, first of all. And then if you want to dig a little bit deeper, then you could get specific and, ask for advice. Is there anything that you see that I am not seeing about my behavior, or what I'm doing, or any beliefs that I have? Is there, this person has there's something there. There's something there. So that's who I want you to go to. Now, continuing on, I want to take a look. Is this person the person that you should be walking into something with? Let's get a little guidance about this person specifically, where this could go. Is this going to feel good? What do we need to know? Is this something that is going to, be a good thing for you walking into? Oh, that's so interesting. We have the Seven of Swords reversed, the Seven of Swords upright, pulling up in their blocks, the Seven of Swords reversed popping up for you about being with this person. And what this feels like to me is that there's some sort of reclamation. So I do think that this person, being with this person, this isn't a sign that you are soulmates. This doesn't feel like it's saying like, hey, who knows what that potential could be like. But this is something that says there is some kind of reclaiming that you both can do from this, of taking back what has been taken from you. So there is some healing to be done with this person. That doesn't feel to me like like heck yes, jump off the cliff, fool energy or lover's energy. Let's pull one more card for it. But there is some healing to be done here. And the King of Wands pops up here, which I find very interesting. The King of Wands feels like an outside energy. It doesn't feel like this energy. We have the King of Cups coming in. We have the Emperor coming in when we were pulling his spread. I am not feeling the King of Wands as this person's energy. So to me, this feels like there is somebody else. Perhaps I want you to dig into your deep intuition. That is always absolutely the best call. You know the energy better than I am reading the energy, because you're going to be in it, feeling it, and get in the habit of following your intuition. But there is, it feels like there is another outside energy that is very much available to you, whether that's right now, whether that's coming in the future. But it does feel like there is some very fiery, driven, assertive, no obstacles in the way, moving forward, delightful, wonderful, powerful, passionate, incredible, fiery, yummy energy coming in. And I think this could be a very strong pairing. I think it could be a very strong pairing indeed. If you want to do a deeper dive on that, there is a link below so you can do so. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means the world to me, to the team. We take it as a sign to keep doing more content just like this. We're going to go ahead and pull over this little piece of guidance here as well. So let's see what we have as our little piece of guidance. I'll keep our stone nearby. Okay, here we go. So our word is untether. Oh my goodness. It's interesting, even just with this word, I felt a release. So what really comes to me is release yourself from the outcome. Release yourself from the outcome that, like, oh, this has to be about the end result. This has to be about getting married. This has to be about where we end up. Let yourself just be open. Open those hands, just like we are for our Ace of Wands. Let yourself be open and receiving, and don't be too tethered to anything. Let yourself move through this so you can do the healing you need to do, so you can get the insights you need to have, see the truth that you need to see, be the person that you need to be, that you want to be. Beautiful things are coming in. Beautiful things are coming in. Let yourself untether. My dear one, thank you for being here with me. If you've made it through with this delightfully long reading, thank you for sticking with me through all of this. Also, I'd like to drop a lion below for our 2 strength cards that we pulled, because you are capable of doing incredible things. And you know that. I think you know that on a very deep level. I'm sending you so much love and so much light until I get to see your precious self again. Please leave me comments. Tell me all about anything, how it hit you, how it resonates with you. Until I see you again. Mwah. Mia.